fucking kill you, you fucking faggot.
You guessed it, a Jew.
Wow. Oh, no. Oh, jeez.
Well, I can't understand none of it. This one begat that one, and that one begat this one, and begat, and lo and behold, someone says some shit to someone or another. Just how retarded are you?
In certain extreme situations, the law is inadequate. In order to shame its inadequacy, it is necessary to act outside the law, to pursue natural justice. This is not vengeance. Revenge is not a valid motive, it's an emotional response. No, not vengeance. Punishment.
Tonight we have a chance to say, yeah, you're right. We're too extreme, we're too wild, we're too out of control, we're too full of our own shit. Or we have a chance to say, hey, fuck you, you're wrong. Fuck you, we're right. Because you have all made it to the dance. Because believe me, this is the dance. Start the show.
All right. Good evening, good night time. Welcome to today's program. Love ya. Morning went well. Starting to think you guys intentionally make me wait until the last minute. Then Sanford's son comes in during the members only show. He starts dropping memberships. God damn. You know, it went from, hey, you know, from the start of the rally in the morning, it went from, I feel like I deserve a little more than what I'm getting here, to I've been given way more than what I deserve. It's that kind of inconsistency of attitude you've come to expect and love from the toe. We have so much to discuss today. So many things going on. What did you guys do? Answer me honestly, Real Jacks. What did you do to Johnny's show? Because I see Aaron, you've got balls going up against Digger. Aaron put his balls up against Digger. What did you guys do? Tell me now and I won't be mad. Tell me now and it'll be okay. Just tell me what you did. I'm sure it's stupid. I'm sure I'm not in on it. And I'm sure it's going to make me mildly upset. Let me know. God damn it. We have a lot going on today. I'm very excited about tonight's show. So we've done a great split. Like, instead of just like the shit that's left over from this morning that we didn't get to, which can still be good, we've got a couple of things. One of them I've wanted to get to for a while, but the protest stuff got in the way. And the other one just kind of keeps developing throughout the day, which is really exciting. The one that's developing throughout the day is the Don Lemon situation. That's why we called today's episode Lemon Law, which is nothing to do with Texas law. Oh God, I said it to SP once today. It's in my head constantly. Can't you just be happy with the basics, Sonny? I can't not have it. I think it needs to be my membership drop. Like, I think I need Mr. Kill Every. Can't you just be happy with the basics, Sonny? It's so good. It can't go away. And then also, so we have the Don Lemon thing, and then we have and I know this is older, but we didn't get to it last week, and I'm so desperate to play this for you. Candace Owens has broken. Candace Owens is officially, she's gone. There's nothing we could do for her. Candace Owens broke the news to us last week that Charlie Kirk is both, he was a time traveler who may have been killed because he interfered with the space-time continuum. And he was also at the X-Men school. Look, don't take it from me. Candace Owens is the one saying it. Candace is the one saying that Charlie was at the X-Men school and Charlie was a time traveler. So we're going to go over both of those clips tonight. Mostly I'm excited about the Don Lemon stuff. Again, forget Texas law. It's lemon law tonight on the toe. And then I got to get that Rumble studio going right. I bought a new microphone setup for when I go out and do protests. I was able to, buy up some new equipment. All this protest stuff kind of sprung up on me randomly Monday of last week. And then I'm just going out, running. I didn't have time to really put together a setup. Well, now I've got one. Now watch this. It's going to be like -10 on Friday for a high and -23 for a low. You heard that right. Watch there be like no protest action, and I went and got all this new stuff for no reason. But like now I've got the good Bluetooth lav mic. I've got some better stuff set up to still stream off the phone, but still better audio setup and things like that. And I'm hoping to be able to run off Rumble Studio. We tried a little test stream on Rumble Studio from the phone. It sucked. People couldn't hear anything. It was not good. So I'm gonna try to do the next one on Rumble Studio because I saw this guy doing IRL streams, right? I saw him doing like protest coverage streams and shit like that. And Chris Pavlovsky, the CEO of Rumble, jumps into his chat and starts dropping $500 Rumble rants on the guy. Just dropping them like, hey, we need more IRL content like this. And I'm like, IRL content? You're talking to the IRL content king of YouTube this weekend. I was Mr. IRL. Ain't many people putting up more numbers in the toe IRL this weekend. So I got to figure out this thing on Rumble because they'll put us on the front page. We get numbers like we did on YouTube. We'll be on the front page of Rumble. They know how to treat a gal. So Chris goes in there and just starts dropping 500, 1,000, drop like $3,000 on this guy. And I'm like, hot damn, you know what? I could put that to use. And people say, oh, you're just jealous. You're fucking right. I'm jealous. Yeah, of course I'm jealous. I dare you not to get jealous. Say you're at work and your boss comes up and hands a $3,000 bonus to one of the employees and you know that you're better than that guy. You're going to be jealous. You should be. You have a right to be. So Chris is in there. He's dropping money on people. Now, I know a lot of you are already saying, Aaron, the Candace thing is old. The Candace thing is old. Let's rap about something for a second. I think it's good to cover old shit sometimes because we're using the word old now and we're way overusing it and it's getting bad. So like a story, like people are saying, oh, the Renee Good story, that's old. It's not even 2 weeks old. Back in the early 2000s, when I was in high school in 2005, we'd still be talking about Renee Good. Like we were still talking about Trayvon Martin 2 weeks after that happened. And that was in the internet age. Shit happens so quick now. We're becoming so desensitized and we just move on from shit so quickly that if something happens on I cut out a bunch of shorts and I scheduled a bunch of shorts from now until like Saturday because we had a lot of viral content on today's show. So we had a lot of stuff that's going to do well in the shorts algorithm. So I posted them all up there Monday through Saturday. And for a second I went, wait a minute, is this stuff still going to be good by Saturday? And I'm like, if it's good Monday and if it ain't good by Saturday, that's an us problem. You know, that's a people problem. So the Candace stuff is going to be fine tonight because it's always funny listening to a black lady talk about how her white friend was a time traveler. Red Fox, he probably just did street magic once. He probably just did a card trick for Candace and she went, oh my God, he does travel back in time. Oh my God, he went to the X-Men school. Oh shit. That's probably going to be the explanation. She just doesn't know yet. Her white husband will tell her. Red Fox Mad with $5 says, gay Don Lemon, is there any other Don Lemon, was in a Christian church. Is he going to give up being gay and liking a penis up his ass? I have a better question for you. Can you stop being gay but still like the idea of a penis up your ass? Can you truly, can you have one without the other? Can I still be gay and not like penis in my ass? I don't think you can. Can you like penis in your ass but not be gay? I don't think you can. I think if you're Don Lemon, you have to give up both. Or we'll know you're lying. Chef Maddock with $1. Thank you, buddy. Says Aaron is totally going to accidentally kill Jim Ross. I'm not going to kill Jim Ross. I promise. Chef Maddock says, damn, God, Aaron, for not doing the Crusades for your damn you, Aaron, for not doing the Crusades for your members show. We'll do it. We're going to do a second member show this week. We will do it another week. Next morning thing that I can't talk about gets hit. We'll do one after the morning show. I owe you an extra one this week. We got doing the protests last week. So we'll do a Crusades one. It's just that I had a thing planned, and then people came into the chat and said, "Hey, we're the paying customers. This is what we want to hear." And it was like Clav on Matan Evans' show, which I still have to finish that. And then there was one other thing people wanted us to go over that we took a look at. Oh yeah, the protests in Target today. So we've got we got distracted is all. Numero Uno says no MLC yet today. Send the link to Felicia MKE. Dude, if MKE would grace this show with his presence one night, I would die. I'd fucking die. I don't know if MKE likes me, probably doesn't give a shit about me, probably doesn't care about the toe. I would hope he doesn't. But I would love to have MKE on here and just drink and talk and see where the night goes. But yeah, I think a few people have been taking MLK off. That's why I was like, guys, don't expect a big boost from this protest coverage. The people are there to watch the protest. They're not there to watch me. And you know, the other thing is people don't watch. There isn't as big of an audience for live podcasts. People don't care about the live part as much as we do the people putting it on. Like, people will watch shit whenever they want to. So, you know, oh, you had all these viewers for the protest. Well, number one, they're there for the protest. They ain't there for me. To a lot of those people, probably because I wasn't giving opinions on it, might have thought of them of a certain sensitivity, and I'm not, and they'll tune out. They won't want to watch it. But yeah, we will get a few more people. We'll see how the week goes. Today we didn't. I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. People are like, it's a holiday. It's a holiday. I'm like, I don't think it makes that much of a difference. Maybe it does. You know, we were in the 6s, didn't quite hit 7 today, which is on the, you know, it's average for us, but on the lower side of average. I think tomorrow, if we shoot up into the 8s and 9s, we'll know it had an impact. If it doesn't, I'm not going to be disappointed in that because I'm pretty aware of what it was. Red Fox Mad, we got to that one. We got to that. There we go. Oh, Chris Reese with 5 gifted memberships to start us off tonight. Thank you, buddy.
Wanna fuck? Let's fuck!
Thank you so much for that. That's very kind. Oh, by the way, those goddamn members-only people got us over 400. So neither the morning nor the evening got the extra half hour. Unfortunately, they stole it from you. That's 91 memberships away from 500. I don't think we're hitting that tonight. Just my guess. Chris Reese says, thanks to whoever gifted me a sub this morning. So here's my 5 gifted, like I said I would. Well, what a goddamn guy. Red Fox Mad with $1.99 says the post office workers protested this weekend. Well, they have an extra day to recover. Good question from Sam Show Loves Jewish Dick. He says, I'm over here still trying to figure out how the pepper spray was still bothering Aaron the day after. Yet Gordy and SP were not affected by it when he slept in bed with them as soon as he got home. No, the Lindale and 24th, it wasn't affecting me the day after. I don't remember saying that. It wasn't bothering me. I had a little coughing and oh, you know what? Dude, I made a joke. Like, I was coughing on the show and I made a joke about, oh God, I just must still be bothering me from the pepper spray, the pepper balls and shit. No, I wasn't being serious. For God's sake, man. No, the worst was Thursday. Thursday when the OC gas was like, when my eyes were flushing it out, and that was a trip. But that's something you got to go through. That's a rite of passage, if you ask me. Hulkamasha Baby with $2. Thank you, buddy. He says it's going to be a clippable night. Oh, no. What do I do? What did I do? Let's see. All right, let's see. Can I still be gay and not like penis in my ass? I don't think you can. That was an easy one.
Wanna fuck?
I mean,
let's fuck.
Speaking of liking penis in your ass, I think I set that one up on a tee for you. I mean, I don't even know if I can give you a lot of credit for that one. That's pretty easy. Historically White says you weren't even in the cloud. Right. I was just there in it, choking on it, and it was in my eyes. And I got to say, I love the conspiracy theories that because it's me, nothing can happen to me. It's Aaron. shit can't happen to him. I mean, I'm human. Some of you give me godlike qualities, and I don't think you realize you do it. I don't possess them. I don't possess superhuman qualities. If pepper spray and like OC gas is in the area and it gets in my eyes and in my throat, I will cough and my eyes will hurt. Aaron, you can't be affected by it. It's like, yeah, I'm just same as you. Same as if you were to be there. Same thing would have happened. I promise. Saint Caesar says, Aaron, breaking Royal Rumble news. It's Gunther versus AJ Styles at the Rumble. If AJ loses, he has to retire from WWE. Ooh, well, I'm interested. Sign me up for the Royal Rumble then. Why not? Richard Head says, yeah, right. You don't choke. You're a pro. Shut up. Shut up. All right, you guys know the drill. Hit like, hit subscribe, and hit follow. You're already up over 200. We're heading for a nice night. We're going to get over 300. Who knows, maybe 4. We were in the 4s last week. I don't like that I have the evening shows pegged. Like, I'm like, all right, the evening shows are dying. They're at, and then they pick back up again. You guys keep taking me on a journey. I appreciate it. But we're over 2. Let's head to 3. That means you guys hit like, hit subscribe, and hit follow. So is Chris Reese in the top 5 now? Yes, he is. He's in ICE detention. Sorry, Redbird. Chris Reese with his 25 from those 5 memberships. And now I got to put Redbird in there. Redbird and his 24 are off the board. Okay, let's... I want to show you guys what I missed not going down to Minneapolis today. You know, I'm betting the farm on the fact that there's not going to be a whole lot of like extensive, rambunctious protests going on in Minneapolis. Not a lot of tear gassing. In fact, I wonder what things look like out at Whipple today and what it's going to look like the rest of the week, because here in Minnesota, we are in a deep freeze, boy. You can turn off your freezers for the rest of the week through the weekend in Minnesota, because it's going to be, there's rarely going to be a day where it's above 0, like for a high. So I'm kind of betting the farm on the fact that there's not going to be a lot of action. And if there is any, I'm hoping it's here locally. Being in Minneapolis for a few days really did make me appreciate here. I mean, we like to talk about St. Cloud like, oh, it's going to shit, it's going to hell, blah, blah. The people here are so much better than the people down there. It's a madhouse down there. They're all nuttier than a rat in a tin shit house. And then you come up here to St. Cloud, and I'm driving by places like maybe there's a protest today. Maybe there's somewhere where I can go interview people. Nothing. Just everybody going about their business, going about their life. In fact, I looked at the Ice Out app today. There were no ICE sightings in St. Cloud. They might have gotten everybody. They say that, that was on their list. They say that in Minnesota, they've deported 10,000 people since ICE has been here, or they've taken in 10,000 people. They probably haven't finished the deportation process, but spending a week in Minneapolis and now coming back to St. Cloud, it's not as bad here as we kind of paint it out to be. The people are a lot more reasonable. I mean, we sit here and we put newspaper articles out about Natalie being a psychotic asshole who's saying shitty things to people as a school board member. I mean, down in St. Paul, their school board members are breaking into church services and yelling and calling people evil. I mean, they're on a different level down there than we are up here. But this is what happened today. These were the protests through Minneapolis. This is what we missed.
Dear ones, my dear ones, here comes the my dear ones, my dear ones, here comes the dawn. Dear ones.
That was the hardcore protest going on. That was what we had in Minnesota today. So when I say there was nothing, that it's going to be slim pickings this week, it's probably going to be slim pickings this week. The other thing you had was a bunch of soccer moms got together in a Target somewhere in Minneapolis or St. Paul, and they got all bitchy and wild and sat down in the aisles and yelled at everybody. So it was nothing. It really was nothing. Landers says, how fucking gay do these queers need to be? They'll answer that in time. Let them reveal let the truth be revealed. Let the secret be revealed over time. Don't spoil it, for God's sake. Das Optic Nerve says, that looks miserable. 1K? No, there weren't 1,000 people at that. Not even close. Landers says, boy, an IED would scatter that crowd. Yeah, but we don't want it to. We would rather it. We don't need an IED. Why are we IEDing things? Why do we need to be in the IED business? Why is that something that needs to happen? So that's what we missed. Then this morning we talked to you guys about the church thing, about Don Lemon and his band of merry gays, deciding that it would be really good optics to stick it to ICE. And, you got to remember, this ICE stuff is a 50-50 proposition across the country. This nation is split right down the middle on what they think about what ICE is doing. So it's a delicate time for both sides to put forth the best version of their argument. It doesn't help when, say, two white Zionist retards are bugging Somali people and then they get their cameras stolen. It doesn't help some January 6th to say he's going to slather a Quran in bacon and then burn it and march to a Somali neighborhood. Not the best look if you're trying to grab that middle 20% or so. On the flip side, not really good to say our position. So now all these right-wing retards hand you an opportunity. They hand you the baton and you shove it straight up your own asshole. And you go, I know what we'll do to protest ICE. All right, go ahead. The floor is yours. The right-wingers are screwing it up by looking like dipshits. What are you guys going to do? Check this. We're going to go into a Christian church. All right, I'm just telling you, this already sounds like a terrible idea. No. Wait. I got this. We're going to go into a Christian church. We're going to call them all Nazis and interrupt their Sunday service. Dude, it's like I said, since Trump got elected, neither of these people want to win. They're just trying to hand it. No, you take it. No, we insist you take it. So the guy who led this procession into the church, and by the way, I mentioned this morning, I talked to this guy. This guy was at Whipple on Thursday. I'm almost positive this was the same guy. He was there, and I got to say, he was energetic. He was full of charisma. He was a very personable guy. He was very rah to everybody that was there that he agreed with. So to see this side of him going through a church and yelling and screaming, I got to say it was pretty wild to see it because he seemed like a guy who was just like, hey, man, the spirit of the protest and let's do this. And, we're just here to stand against ICE. If he would have told me, and hey, man, check this out. In 3 days, I'm going to go fuck up a church. I would have been like, you're the same. Really? You're going to go? That's just something you're going to do. Oh, all right. Okay. Like, I don't condone protesters throwing snowballs in water and hitting Jake Lang, but I can see the point A to point B that they take to get there. This guy was January 6th. He says horrible things about Muslims. We're very liberal. We're against these immigration enforcement guys. He's for them. Spirits and passions are running very hot right now. Shit's going down. To go to a church that's doing nothing to anyone and to just be really happy and like proud of it, I don't understand the mindset. So the federal government said, well, we're going to charge these people with a crime for interrupting this church service. They're going to they want to prosecute these people under the KKK law, which is a law during civil rights that says if you disrupt a religious service for whatever reason, that's like a Klan hate crime, and you can now be charged with a federal crime. So Pam Bondi says, I'm going to do this. Now, you can cheerlead this idea that Pam Bondi has, and you can say it's a good thing, and you can say it's cool. And look, man, that's totally fine. But I need you to remember that every time this lady does something, she's also the lady who lied to you about the Epstein files. I also need you to know that it's been 22 days since the Epstein files have been mandated by American law to be released and haven't been. All right? Because don't think for a second that a lot of this protest stuff isn't part of that distraction to not talk about Epstein. That's why even though I'm going there and I'm recording it and I'm getting views from it, I want to make sure I bring it up to you. These ICE people, this Trump administration, I want to enforce immigration laws too, but I also want to remind you that these are the same assholes who are protecting a bunch of international pedophiles. All right? Just try to keep that in mind. Walk and chew gum at the same time. So Pam Bondi wiping the smug smirk off this guy's face, kind of funny, right? It's not funny. Pam Bondi lied to us and is protecting pedophiles. Let's hold her feet to the fire on that. All right? Let's listen to my guy.
Yesterday, I went into a church with Nakima Armstrong and I protested these.
Okay, see right there, if I'm this guy's lawyer, step one, don't do that. Let's not, I have an idea, counselor. I'm going to go on a live stream and I'm going to talk about what I did. I can't stress enough how against that I am. Let's not do that. Let's just, how about we be quiet and I'll file a bunch of briefs and you wipe all evidence of this ever happening off the internet.
White supremacist, a pastor of the church is a fucking ICE leader in the city.
No, Come on, damn it. You can't do that. He's not an ICE leader. He's not employed by immigration services.
How can you be a fucking pastor and be a fucking ICE agent? Fuck them. They want to come after me? Fuck them. How can they live so comfortably while the fucking people from Somalia that are in this country legally, that have fucking citizenship, can't even go to their mosque and pray?
Hold on a minute, guys. I'm choking on irony. So you're mad that Somali citizens can't go to their mosque and pray, which, by the way, I've seen no evidence of this. If you're a Somali citizen, you can go to the mosque just fine. Even if ICE fucks with you, you go, no, I'm a citizen. Here you go. Fuck yourself. You're fine. Nobody's kicking you out. I have seen no evidence that the Somali citizens can't go to their mosque and pray. But you think that's bad, right? You think that that's bad that these free American citizens can't travel to their place of worship and celebrate their God freely, right? You think that's bad. So you're going to point that out by interrupting Christian citizens' right to go and worship and celebrate their God in their church. I mean, it's like being against SA, and to prove it, you're going to go.
How do they deserve any fucking different? Fuck those fucking Nazis.
So wait a minute. So ICE is creating the environment which causes these Somalis to be afraid to go practice their religion. And you're against that, and you think that makes them Nazis. All right, stick with me, kid. Then what does it make you when you do it? Can you... It's like, remember when Jake is trying to explain to Rube Baker in Major League 2? What are you thinking when you throw the ball down to second base to nail a runner? Oh, I'm not thinking. I just throw it. What do you think about when you throw the ball back to the pitcher? I'm thinking, God, I hope I don't screw this up. Do you see what I'm getting at here? I don't think he does. I think he's convinced he's worked this out in his brain, and this works just fine.
Any fucking different. Fuck those fucking Nazis.
Okay.
Come and get me, Pam Bondi, you fucking traitorous bitch. All power to the people.
I mean, I agree with those last couple parts. But Pam Bondi will have no problem coming to get you, sir. You're not a Jewish pedophile, so she will probably arrest you. And that's my thing. He wasn't that angry when I saw him. He wasn't that mad. He was a lot less angry. He seemed downright jovial when I met him. He doesn't seem to be. Maybe it was his twin. Numero uno, Josh Denny fan says, Libto always whataboutisming anytime MAGA does something good. Whataboutism? And by the way, whataboutism is fine. Whataboutism is comparing two like things. That's a contrast. That's like you hold up a thing. Okay, here's another thing like that thing. It's called precedent, and you can compare the two things. There's nothing wrong with whataboutism. Like if someone goes, yeah, Hillary should go to jail for those emails. Well, then shouldn't Trump go to jail for his the bullshit that he was convicted of? It's like, well, Is that whataboutism? Sure. Is that a valid question? Yeah, it sure is. That's something you can discuss that. $5 from Salvatore says, is it true that when that kid got... Oh, I can't read. I can't read this. I can't read this. Salvatore with $5 says, is it true that when the kid got thrown from the third floor of the Mall of America in 2019, you could hear people yelling ECW, ECW, ECW? No, that's not true. I wasn't there. But I don't believe they chanted ECW. Maybe holy shit, maybe he's hardcore, but not ECW. No, but that, you know what, Salvatore, I'll tell you this, buddy. You don't know the facts unless you ask the question. So I appreciate it. Thanks for the 5. And Red Fox Mad with another $4.99 says, Aaron, J6 guy stabbed in the head at Minnesota protest. Did you see this? Did I see this, Red Fox Mad? I only have 220,000 views of the live stream I did that feet away from when the guy was getting attacked. That's like I brought it up to Johnny on the show today. I'm like, yeah, you know about the big live stream that I did that like even strangers on the internet and on Twitter and everywhere, you know, talking about and posting about. You know about the big stream I did from the protest. Like, what? No. I'm like, oh, thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you, Red Fox Mad. But yes, we did. You know what? Let's watch this. Since I covered it and I was there on the ground and I know exactly what happened, let's see if the mainstream media fucks this up. Because one thing I've noticed being down there, people think that the media is slanted like left and right, and sometimes they are, but a lot of the time it's just sensationalist and lazy. Like, I've listened to left-wing media reports of the protests. I've listened to right-wing media reports on the protests, and they're all wrong. And it's not like broken down on political lines. It's just on sensationalism lines. That's it.
Welcome back here on Live Now from Fox. My name is Josh Breslow, and we do have some developing news that we want to get to here at this hour. Take a look at your screen. As
he looks like he's trying to get fucked. He looks like a dog when he's trying not to go in the bathtub. Look at Jake Lang. Look at this. He looks like you're trying to put like a golden retriever in a bath, and he's got his legs like all the way stretched out on each side of the tub. Look, man, I get it. I wouldn't want to go into that mob either if I was saying the shit that Jake Lang says. If I was instigating these people. I wouldn't want to go into a mob of them either. It had to look like The Walking Dead. But it is just funny that he's got like full-on dog splits going.
Anti-ICE protests continued on Saturday in Minneapolis. Video shows pardoned January 6th rioter and conservative activist Jake Lang being attacked as he reportedly took part in an anti-Islam and pro-ICE rally. Jake did post this image on social...
Oh, no, fuck that post. No, the Twitter post that was the best is the one where he said, I'm quoting him, he said, I was literally lynched. That's what he said. I was literally lynched in the streets of Minneapolis. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that if you were literally lynched, you'd have a hard time typing out this message. Emmett Till was literally lynched. All right, that was a guy who or a kid, I guess he was a teenager, I think, who was lynched. You were not literally lynched. You got smacked upside the head by some crazy lefty protesters. That's 1,000% true, but you were not literally lynched. We need the right wingers back, like the meth biker guys. Like we need Patriot Guard or whatever those guys were, the guys with the motorcycles who rev them up. I'm tired of these soft-ass, pussy, clean-shaven conservative kids who are like, yeah, we're fucking edgy boys and free speech. And then they're like Cartman. As soon as someone slaps them in the face, they go, wah! And they cry, and I was literally... You think a biker would go to one of these protests and then be like, I was literally lynched? They'd be like, no, I literally lynched 8 hippies. They're actually tied by a log chain to the back of my bike right now. I'm keeping them as souvenirs. Don't fuck with us. We're protesting tomorrow. Stay clear. Like, I'm tired of the Sorters and the Higbees and the Jake Langs. who are like, we are so pro free speech and we're going to show you and we're not scared of shit. And then one liberal goes, I'll fucking kill you, you Nazi. And they're like, they are literally bullying us to death, you guys. We got to stop with all the gays. Like, if you saw that Sneeko meetup he had with all those quote unquote conservative guys, the gay element is too strong. It's too heavy right now. We need to get back to when conservatives would show up at shit like, I don't want to say that we need the Proud Boys again. I don't want to say that we need Charlottesville because that's a horrible thing to say. But what I'm saying is, if you're going to go protest a bunch of crazy leftists are going to show up, either be ready to fucking throw down and fight some people or don't go. Jake Lang wasn't ready to fight shit that day. Stay home. Don't go. But you're a bunch of cowboys. Redbird with $5 over on Rumble. Thank you, pal. He says, if they had their way 4 years ago, we would have been clot spotted at gunpoint or locked up for re-education. Don't try to humanize them. They all also probably danced with joy when Charlie Kirk died. Oh, absolutely. But that's what I'm saying. You got to get psychotic meth bikers out there to do these protests, not these pussies, not these soft suburbanite kids. Come on. Yeah, Papa Shab says he's a gay Jew pretending to be based. That's the other thing. Like, I look at Jake Lang and I go, that's a fucking gay guy for sure. Like, that's just a dude who likes cock. He just looks, he's got the phenotype, you know? Plus, he's a pussy. Like, he doesn't fight back. So he's probably gay. His sister was in the IDF, and I did enough of that shit this morning. I don't need to do more of that shit. Historically White says we need Charlottesville without Cantwell. You just need guys who, you know, are willing to, because here's the deal. I'm going to let you conservative protesters know right now, as a guy who's been down there covering it. All right. The Minneapolis Police Department is not going to do shit to protect you. They aren't going to help you. Literally, the only defense they're going to have is a circle of press guys will want to get a shot of you with their cameras, and that will insulate you a little bit. That's all. So if you're going down there, you better be ready to throw the fuck down. You know what? Maybe that would clean things up in Minnesota. Maybe that's how we clean this up. Maybe we just need one big Gangs of New York Donnybrook. We need a Bill the Butcher and an Amsterdam. And we just need to, they both need to get a group of people together and have at it, because the cops aren't doing shit. The cops aren't like keeping anybody separated. Nothing. So I think what we need is we need a bunch of conservatives to come out like old school, you know, ready to die conservatives, crazy guys, psychos. And then a bunch of lefties who are bleeding from the mouth and ready to get ICE and destroy them, and just say, guys, get after it. And then they can have one fight, winner take all, Battle of Minneapolis. Minneapolis police don't want to get involved anyway. Now's the time. Perfect. And then I will cover it, but probably from like a light post or something. Loaded Wrench with $2 says Grams died alone. Some bike. I love that one. I love that commercial. Real Jacks 2 with $2 says, not trying to change the subject, but with your hairline, you should dress up as Count Floyd from SCTV for next Halloween. No, that's fine. Thank you for the suggestion. Papa Shab says, real right-wingers have jobs. They do not have time to protest. Fathead. That's true. Historically White says, Bill the Butcher was a good guy in real life. Scorsese slandered him. Yeah, I thought they did the same thing to the main character of Downfall. It's not. I'm joking. I'm telling a joke. Randy K. Get Randy K a membership. He's always so generous in here. He says Minnesota is ground zero because of liberal Minnesota government. Well, yeah, and look, I'm repeating myself from this morning. But the reason Minnesota is the way it is and ICE is even here is because Minneapolis is a sanctuary city, and for the most part, Minnesota is a sanctuary state. Law enforcement does not cooperate with ICE. When there is a criminal alien here, we don't report it to them. ICE wouldn't even need to be here. We just say, hey, we picked a guy up on a drug charge. Turns out he's here illegally. Come pick him up. And they do, and they start the deportation process. We don't do that, so ICE has to come to us. It's fucking retarded. Dan Vicious with $5. Thank you very much, Dan Vicious. Hey, guys, keep it up. Thank you so much. You have been amazing today. Hit like, hit subscribe, and hit follow. Dan Vicious says, play this at 210 to 235. Let's take a
controversial
look. Oh, God, I hate Michael Knowles. Says, why I'm not a Christian Zionist. Dude, I just watched you on fucking Piers Morgan. You're a Christian Zionist, you cunt. All right. This was not a show where I wanted to do Michael Knowles, but
recently.
I had 100 lifetimes. It would not be sufficient teshuvah. It would not be sufficient repentance for all that has happened over history. But I'm here tonight to say something to you. I'm here tonight to tell you that there is a new breed of Christian alive in the world today. There is a new breed of Christian that says, along with...
Yeah, they're called Jews. That's the new breed of Christian. By the way, if you ever meet a Christian and they say Judeo-Christian, smack them in the mouth and then beg for forgiveness from God. There's no such thing as Judeo-Christian. It's a made-up political word. All right? The New Testament is the new covenant. If you don't believe in the New Testament and the divinity of Christ, you're out. All right? There's no Judeo-Christian. Hey, there's not many Jews left. We're going to latch on to all you Christians, the world's biggest religion, and we'll tag team with you. Oh, okay, cool. Let me ask you a question. Do you believe Jesus Christ is God? Do you believe in his divinity? Well, no, we don't. Fuck off. Bye. No, there's no such thing as Judea. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You see, I didn't want to do this tonight. Fucking Dan Vicious did this. So I don't want to hear anyone say, oh, more Jew talk from the toe. I didn't. I wanted to talk about time travel with Candace Owens, and I wanted to make fun of Don Lemon.
You, for Zion's sake, I will not be silent, and for Jerusalem's sake, I will not be still.
If there's one thing we know about you fucking Zionists, it's that you're not going to be silent. We know. The only way we can make you silent is we go, hey, remove one country from the Middle East that would guarantee there would be peace. You can only remove one country and the wars stop. Go ahead. Then they'll be silent.
Mishtaq Yemeni. We have been divided. There is the fear. Evangelicals are all missionaries. We just want to get you all to return to Jerusalem so the apocalypse can come. When Mashiach comes, there will be a great press conference in Jerusalem. The BBC and the New York Times will not be invited.
The Jews that run the New York Times are going to be really mad at you for that one.
Jerusalem Post will be conducting the interview with the Mashiach.
Oh, the Jerusalem Post. Thank God it will be an unbiased news source.
And they will say to him this. They will say, sir, is this your first visit or your second? I believe his answer will be yes.
Oh, fuck you. That's blasphemy. That's fucking blasphemy. If that guy calls himself a Christian, string him up because that's fucking blasphemy. You're excommunicated for that shit. It's the second coming. It's the return of the Savior. Is this? Oh, God. See, Dan Vicious, why did you do that? We were going to have fun today. Don Lemon, Candace Owens. Why did you do that? I don't want to talk about Jews. I don't want to. Papa Shab says Gay F is already doomed. Can't even say a prayer for him. He's fucked. Dude, that whole, anyone says Judeo-Christian, just don't let them get away with it. Even if your boomer parents say it. Just ask them. They go, hey, there is no Judeo-Christian. They go, oh, yes, there is. Absolutely. It's the Jews and one's Old Testament, one's New. Sorry. Divinity of Christ. That's where we draw the line. Aaron, thoughts on the movie Gods and Generals? Oh, this is an easy one. Never seen it. My Lost Interest says, while listening to this ICE and Jew discussion, I'm searching on Amazon for a pet sink bath mat for the wifey. Please do. Thank you, My Lost Interest. I can always count on you to change the subject into something I'd like to discuss. Can we make fun of Don Lemon now? You guys got my blood pressure up. Congratulations, Dan Vicious. Thank you for the 5. Dan Vicious with $2 says, had to do it. Christ is king. I hear you. I agree. Christ is king indeed. But I wanted to make fun of Don Lemon, and now I'm all worked up. Dude, that Argentina thing today, the Patagonia deal, it's like, I saw the Patagonia thing today. Like I saw the Matt Gaetz clip and I watched that and I followed more of that. Like Chile, there's wildfires. They're doing the same thing in Chile. And it's like, you get like, if you go around other people's countries starting fires, like that's a reason to detain you and put you in camps. Like, I'm sorry. Like it's like, like when shit like Patagonia and Chile happens, I go, I wonder how much of the history I've been taught about World War II is true. I really do. Like, it's like Bill Murray said he read the first few pages of that Bob Woodward book on John Belushi, who was his friend, his best friend. And he said, I read 5 pages of Bob Woodward's book and I went, oh my God, they framed Nixon. Like, I look at that Patagonia story and I go, oh my God, I don't think we're being told the truth about like 1920s Germany. Because I'm just like, this is fucked up. Like, this is not okay to be doing. Don Lemon was in that church. So I wanted to go from the church thing to Don Lemon, but Dan Vicious knew he could distract me. Don Lemon went into that church with all those protesters. And Don claims that he was covering it as a journalist. Okay, that's fine. I understand you're covering it as a journalist. That's cool. But in his commentary while he was covering it, he was rooting the protesters on. It really didn't seem like he was covering the protest as much as he was participating in it. He was being confrontational with the pastor. He wasn't being critical of the protesters. He said people are scared. That's what protests are supposed to do, scare people into changing things. It seemed like Don was more the PR guy for this protest than he was a journalist covering it. But word got out to Don Lemon today that Pam Bondi and the Justice Department were looking at possibly bringing these Ku Klux Klan charges against Don Lemon and the people who went into that church saying they committed a crime, which they probably did. Don Lemon got word of this, and this guy went on the defensive post haste. Like right away, Don Lemon is out there going, actually, no, it's not because of this, and this. You can tell when someone's panicked, even though they're not saying they're panicked, by them trying to get ahead of something. Getting ahead of something is a sign of panic. Now, it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. If you're panicked and you're getting ahead of something and it can be done and it works, that's good. The panic drove you to something good. But this just seems like Don Lemon is trying to convince himself that he's not going to be charged. This was Don Lemon's immediate response to Pam Bondi saying that she may bring charges against the people who went into that church in St. Paul yesterday.
You know what, Donald Trump, fuck you. Just fuck all the way off. What an asshole and a small-minded, small dick shit to do.
Somebody got a blood transfusion today. Wow. Somebody's feeling a little. Somebody's white cell count is kicking it in the ass. By God, Don, go off, Queen.
Like, you have no couth.
Oh, he has no couth.
You are an immature child. You are a bigot, a fucking racist, and a small penis asshole.
Yeah, but isn't that a nice Saturday for you? I mean, you don't want a big penis asshole. You want more of a, it's, you know what I'm saying, Don? Like if it was one of those ear gauges, you wouldn't want the starter one, right? No? Don, not good for you to constantly, I mean, that's your second dick reference in 25 seconds. You're not beating the stereotypes. Isn't this the guy who went to a bar and put his hands down his pants and stuck his ball hands under a guy's nose and went, smell my cock? What a fucking weirdo this guy is.
Yeah, I said that. just hateful and delusional. And you have the nerve
The nerve
to be upset
Bitchy and
because
wild.
people were critical of Charlie Kirk's, what he said when before he died, how he talked about black people and women and all, and you have the nerve to be all up in arms about that.
Don, and I say this with all due respect, you lost me. We're talking about you busting into a church and interrupting a Sunday church service. And you're like, well, the things with Charlie Kirk, and he said, and that. Don, I'm going to go back in this. I'm going to rewind the tape here. I don't think that was a full sentence or complete thought. Let's listen again.
What he said when before he died, how he talked about black people and women and all, and you have the nerve to be all up in arms about that.
Huh? Donald Trump was up in arms about what Charlie Kirk said about blacks and the. Don, I don't mean to say you're panicking, but this sounds a little panicky. Sounds like somebody took a double dose of Copatussin this morning.
Just fuck all the way off. That
Fuck
just
all the
shows
way
me
off.
that you were
He talks like a 17-year-old girl. He talks like a 17-year-old white girl protesting for the first time. Just fuck all the way off with your small dick. God, he is a bitchy gay guy.
just grifting off of Charlie Kirk's death. But you don't give a shit about respecting someone when they die. You don't care. You care about yourself. And you are preaching and promoting hate.
Okay. Says the guy who literally just bust in the face. That doesn't sound good. He didn't bust in anyone's face that I know of, not on camera. It says a guy who bust into a church and got in the face of people trying to worship their God. Okay.
It's just vile. It makes me sick that you are president of the United States. It's embarrassing. You are an embarrassment to this country.
He got a $10 super chat. Fucking multi-millionaire CNN anchor Don Lemon is doing what the toe does and taking the chats. Attaboy, Don. How far to get Don to the G word? We got to get him there, guys. We got to get Don to the G word. No, not the G spot. That would be the prostate in his case. But the fact that Don's taking super chats and everyone in his chat is like, you tell it, Don. You tell him, girl.
It's just gross. I don't even know how else. I mean, it's just, I hate to even say it. Like, I hate to even say your name. I don't even like to hear your voice. It's so gross. It sounds like you're vomiting when you talk.
By the way, this is the great thing about being a talk show host. I'm more talented than Don Lemon when it comes to this, when it comes to being in front of a microphone, talking, conveying ideas to an audience and interacting with said audience. You can tell that Don Lemon has read off a teleprompter his entire life. Now, doing a nightly news program where you do it off the teleprompter, he'd kick my fucking ass in that. He's apparently at one point was world class at reading a teleprompter. But when it comes to this, boy, you can tell this guy has never had to express an original thought off the cuff on camera, hardly ever. Because he's not even putting coherent thoughts together. This is all just mumbled shit.
Everything is like that.
And then he did that. Oh my God, it was too perfect. What's that, Don?
Everything is like.
Ladies and gentlemen, Don Lemon when he sees a cock.
You're vomiting when you talk. Everything is.
Don Lemon as soon as a man unzips in the men's room.
Vomiting when you talk. Everything is like when you talk. Everything.
Don Lemon when the good stuff comes out of the wee-wee hole.
Everything.
Don Lemon when he's got a nice pair of balls in front of him.
Everything.
Don Lemon when it's not quite stiff enough to tag him in the hiney hole. What does he do to it?
Everything is.
Don Lemon when the cock fits a little too snug in the old hiney hole.
Everything.
Fucking Don Lemon. He's a national treasure.
Is like that. And you wonder where all the hate comes from in this country?
Yeah, you know what? Don, I'm glad we got people like you. By the way, don't point out to him that him and Donald Trump share the same name. He's not going to like that. But I'm glad we got people like Don Lemon who don't spew all of this hate and vile and bigotry. He just goes to where Christians are practicing their religion and interrupts them and calls them Nazis. It's good.
Comes from you. You are the promoter of hate in this country.
Yeah.
The example of it. And you expect people to respect you when you have no respect for other people and zero respect for the office that you hold.
Oh, shit, dude. Preach, right? That's crazy. You can't have respect. Black people always do that, by the way. You know, as black people always flip shit around. They're like, you can't respect yourself unless your self-respect is there for you. That doesn't fucking mean anything. You just flip the words around. Don't try your fucking black magic on me. I went to high school. Yo, you can't give well wishes unless there's a wishing well that has your wishes well held there too. Shut up.
And so I'm giving you the same energy that you give others.
And you can't get energy if you don't give that energy to the people you want to get that energy from. Go back to the teleprompter, dickhead.
That's how I feel about it. Fuck you.
Oh.
Piece of shit.
Oh. Oh.
Rob Reiner can't say it. I'm going to say it for him.
That was a fucking weird thing to say. Rob Reiner. Yeah, that's one of the drawbacks of your crazy kid murdering you. Yeah, he doesn't get to say, fuck you, Donald Trump. And of all the things that Rob Reiner doesn't get to do, I'm sure that's the one that busts him up the most. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Don Lemon is not doing well. But we're not done with old Don, because someone more famous than Don had something to say about him today, and it was funny. And then he felt the need to bitchy gay guy respond to that. Loaded Wrench with $5 says, we're at this point because of generational cycles that occurs every 80 to 100 years. 2032 will be 80 years since World War II. A major reset will come about. Loaded Wrench with another $2 says, that should be the $2 drop. Oh, the... My Lost Interest says, black magic. How about hurt people, hurt people? Yo, hurt people. But if the people who hurt other people, then the hurt people are the ones people hurt. Church. I can do black magic talk. Someone in the chat said that Don Lemon sounds like Karmic. Well, don't you know that sometimes when those cocks are out, like sometimes I just got to tell Trump what a fucking piece of shit he is. But I digress. This is Don Lemon. I feel like I have the inside track on doing Karmic impressions than other people online because I'm from Minnesota, so I can kind of, when I went into that church to tell Donald Trump what a piece of shit he was, he's such a piece of shit. He's just a shitty piece of shit. I don't think Karmic understands how black he is. Because, like, up in that part of Minnesota, there are no black people, so they don't know what they act like. So they think all black people are like, yo, dog, what it be, what it is. But most black people around here is, like, the black magic talk of, like, hurt people, and the people who hurt the people hurting other people. That they kind of talk like that. Karmic's kind of a, My Lost Interest says, don't stop Don Lemon. He's on a roll. He's the man. Das Object Nerve says, not a bad Karmic, but you're still gay and fat. Isn't that always the drawback? And that's always how they get you. No matter how, build 1,000 bridges. Be one fat gay guy. What do they say? By the way, Don Lemon's exploits from over the weekend got the attention of newly conservatized Nicki Minaj. And I got to say, Nicki Minaj, quite based today. Nicki Minaj went on Twitter, and this was about Don Lemon. And she's a Christian, by the way. This was about Don Lemon going into that church and hassling those people. Nicki Minaj tweeted, and you can see it on the screen there, Don cocksucking Lemon is disgusting. By the way, cocksucking, like calling him a cocksucker is one thing. And it's like, that's kind of low-hanging fruit. but making it his middle name, like if he were a boxer or a wrestler, is low-key brilliant for Nicki Minaj. And in this corner, standing at 5'7" tall with a T-cell count of 92, Don Cocksucking Lemon. I don't think there's a better nickname than Don. It's now forever Don Cocksucking Lemon, by the way. She says, how dare you? I want that thug in jail. I would like Nicki Minaj to apologize to all thugs. He would never do that to any other religion. Lock him up. Lock up who? Don Cocksucking Lemon? How great if that sticks as an alias to the point where they book him under that name. So the next time he gets pulled over, excuse me, sir, are you also aliased as Don Cocksucking Lemon? I think that's how he'd have to answer it. So My Lost Interest says, actually, Aaron, ironically, that's his real middle name. Oh, my God. And there's conservatives out there who don't think you're born gay. That's a shame. I mean, clearly you're born gay if guys are getting born Don Cocksucking Lemon. I mean, how are you supposed to have that middle name and get pussy? You can't. You can't. Hi, my name's Don Cocksucking Lemon. It's like, are you gay? Bitch, who you thinking? Anawal says he's lucky it wasn't one of those churches that now has armed guards. Well, I don't know. I don't think they would have. That's a bad look, too. Like a bunch of protesters come in. That's like one of those things that doesn't rise to the level of religious guards mowing you down. You know, it's not like they come into the church and all of a sudden a bunch of like agents with like Knights Hospital or Knights Templar outfit. I think that's what the reaction they could have expected. Thank you to My Lost Interest for gifting a membership. 90 of those memberships. 08 from 500. Thank you guys so much for your generosity tonight. You're on. You're doing it, man. Thank you so much with the Streamlabs, the PayPals, the Venmos, the Super Chats, the Rumble Rants. All of it great. All of it appreciated. All right, so we got Don Lemon. You got Nicki Minaj outing his middle name as Cocksucking. And apparently that got back to Don Lemon by this afternoon because he was on another podcast as a guest and he was clapping back at Nicki Minaj. By the way, who's this chick? Because she's everywhere, out of nowhere, all of a sudden. I hate to be the guy who goes, everybody's a plant. But when they pop up out of nowhere for no reason, and I've never seen them before, and then all of a sudden they're everywhere, I just assume that some billionaire is behind them, whether they're on the left, and it's like a Soros type of thing, or they're on the right, and it's like an Adelson type of a deal. I don't know what it is, but when they just start popping up out of nowhere, it ain't organic, it's synthetic. So this lady has Don Lemon on her show, and he's not only is he bent out of shape about the Trump thing, but now he's bent out of shape about the Nicki Minaj deal.
And their base is full of racist, bigoted homophobes.
You know, it's weird. I feel like, at least for me, those words have just lost their pop. Like you've been overusing them for 20 years now. You know, maybe 15 or so, but you've been using them way too long. And it's just like, you're a racist, you're this, you're a homophobe, you're that. Yeah, okay, fine. Now answer my argument. Like, I feel like that's what real, like the America First conservative types do. Not the Higbees and the Shapiros and people like that. But like real conservatives just started going, yeah, okay, I guess I'm fine with that then, because I'd really like to hear your thoughts on the fucking argument I just put out there. Or the thing that I just told you about, or the thing we just did. Okay, so get all the racist, homophobic, Klansman, Nazi shit out of your system. I'll let you, because it used to be you would call a conservative that, and they go, well, how dare you? And then the debate shifts into how I'm not a Nazi. Instead, just yes and it. Instead, just go, all right, cool. I guess that's what I am. Now, how about the shit I just told you?
Base is full of racist, bigoted homophobes.
Cool.
Like Nicki Minaj, by the way.
Oh, pop that up. So Nicki Minaj sent a tweet.
Don Lemon thought she was going to say pop that pussy, and he was about to show his asshole to the camera. It's funny. Don cocksucking Lemon.
Out. Dawn cocksucking, her words.
She read it. Oh, Dawn, why do you let yourself get humiliated like this? Take like a consultant job or something. This woman who's supposed to be on Dawn's side, she's like a liberal lady who's all of a sudden appeared out of nowhere. She actually read the Don cocksucking Lemon part, and Don just sits there and goes, yep. Mm-hmm. I mean, tell her when she's telling lies, you know.
Cocksucking, her words. Lemon.
What does Don like to do on the weekends?
In her words.
Oh, fuck. I didn't go far enough. What does Don Lemon like to do on the weekend?
Dawn cocksucking, her words.
There we go. What can you get from Don in the back of a movie theater?
Dawn cocksucking, her.
What can you get from Don in the back of a classic automobile?
Dawn cocksucking, her.
Oh, okay. What have the Vikings been really good at this season?
Cocksucking, her.
Okay, all right. What did the Bears do last night?
Cocksucking.
I thought so too. This lady's pretty based now that I think of it. What is Don going to do immediately when this interview's over?
Cocksucking.
Okay. Don, why would you put yourself through this? It's not good.
Sent a tweet out. Dawn cocksucking, her words. Lemon is disgusting. How dare you? I want that thug in jail. He would never do that to any other religion. Lock him up. And then
Don, what's the most offensive part of that tweet, and why is it not the cocksucking part?
She bizarrely puts a Chucky doll with it. So number one.
Yeah, she should have put it in blackface. That would have been hilarious.
One, the homophobia laced in that. But number two, the way.
It's not homophobia to call him, say he's cocksucking. Are you sucking cock? Then you're a cocksucker. Clip it. Do you eat pussy? You're a pussy eater. I don't know what I mean, you could use boomer terms you want. Muff diver, I guess. Clam digger. I don't know what other fucking terms you'd use. Beaver pelter. I don't fucking. But like, is it homophobic to describe something he does? If they called him Don ass blasting Lemon, I mean, that sounds bad, but it's still accurate. Don Peter Puffer Lemon. Like all of these, like, you know, they're, you know, uncouth terms to use, I'm sure, but they're not homophobic.
This sect of Christianity, the white nationalist form of Christianity that I guess now.
Oh, so now they're all white nationalists. So this is a fun rhetorical trick people do now. And I'm not going to pretend it's only the left who does it. But if you really hate people and you really want to treat them like shit and you want to break all, like you don't want to be consistent with your actual morals and values and beliefs, you just prescribe to them, you assign to them a certain thing that makes them other and shitty, and then it's okay for you to be a hypocrite. Like these people at this church, like normally you would say, don't break into people's house of worship. That's a really evil, shitty Nazi thing to do. Oh, but this is a white nationalist sect of Christianity. Bro, you know how much further to the right of Catholicism you have to go to get to Nazis? And these people were Protestants, I believe. So they're basically gay. And you guys are going in there being like, oh, they're white nationalists. Like, bitch, please.
Nicki Minaj attaches herself to. I'm like, good luck with that, sis. At the end of the day, you're still black.
Whoa. What is it with these white bitches who feel like they can just say the most racist shit ever as long as they feel like they're protected? This is like having the huge boyfriend at the bar complex. You can get drunk and start shit with whoever you want because he'll take care of it. Good luck with that. You're still black. Did she say that?
Attaches herself to. I'm like, good luck with that, sis. At the end of the day, you're still black.
What the fuck? I can't even say that. I want to all the time. Mostly when a black quarterback beats the Vikings, but like it just comes off as sour grapes. You're not allowed to be a liberal and say that kind of shit. But again, if she can make Nicki Minaj a white nationalist Christian, then it's okay to be, oh, white women get away with way too much bullshit. Like, you shouldn't. I feel like Nicki Minaj should just show up off camera and smack the shit out of her for saying that.
Herself too. I'm like, good luck with that, sis. At the end of the day, you're still black.
What the fuck? By the way, ma'am, your thoughts on the first black president? Go ahead.
Good luck with that, sis. At the end of the day, you're still black.
Wow, that is really, really hateful. What do you think about Harriet Tubman helping all those slaves get to freedom?
Good luck with that, sis. At the end of the day, you're still black.
Jesus, this woman's take on everything is bad. What do you think about Rosa Parks bravely fighting for her right to sit wherever she wants to on the bus?
Like, good luck with that, sis. At the end of the day, you're still black.
Oh my God. That's fucking terrible. I can't believe people would say things like that. What do you think about Oprah Winfrey being a maverick and a pioneer in media?
I'm like, good luck with that, sis. At the end of the day, you're still black.
It just seems like haterade, if you ask me. It's low-key turning out to be one of the best evening shows in a while.
They
my black gay friend's laughing at it. I'm totally fine. By the way, that was a nervous reaction she had from herself. She was like, oh boy, I feel like I went too far. Nah, don't second guess yourself, sis. At the end of the day, you're still white.
use their religion as a weapon, but then they also use it as a shield, back and forth, back and forth. They weaponize it. And
now see, that's some Judeo-Christian shit.
And oh my God, I'm a victim. Don't attack my Christianity. And that's what Nicki Minaj just did right there. And I have news for Nicki Minaj. You think these white nationalists are going to accept you and your WAP? Just hide and wait. These people are serious about their racism, Miss Minaj.
No, they're not. I'm glad you said WAP. And if you listen to Nicki Minaj's music and you're like, okay, that's Christianity.
By the way, Nicki Minaj didn't do that song. That was Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. So that's fucking racist too. So just all black rappers, they do wet ass pussy. Is that? God, she really is like a different kind of evil. Sometimes people's evil comes out to their outer form, and that's why her face is getting like sucked in like a dying star, because she's just ugly on the inside. She's like Button Eye's mom and Coraline. I have kids. But like, she said a lot of like really hateful shit that if a white guy with a big red bushy beard said it, he'd be in an internment camp. Good luck at the end of the day, bitch. You're still black. It's like, whoa. You take your fucking Negro wet ass pussy somewhere else. What the fuck? Can we go back to that last little volley she threw out there? Because that was brutal.
At the end of the day, you're still black. They use their religion as a weapon, but then they also use it as a shield, back and forth, back and forth. They weaponize it, and then, oh my God, I'm a victim. Don't attack my Christianity. And that's what Nicki Minaj just did right there. And I have news for Nicki Minaj. You think these white nationalists are going to accept you and your WAP?
That wasn't even her song. And that's it. Like, imagine if a black person was right in front of you and they're like, I love this church and I love my friends at this church. Imagine what a racist piece of shit you'd sound like if you went, you think those whites are going to accept you, you wet pussied black piece of shit? And you're like, what the fuck? Like, I'm supposed to be the racist. Like right wingers are supposed to be the bigots. And then I watch this shit. It's just like you want to point to whoever the cosmic referee is and go, whoa, what the fuck? I would never say that, like, publicly in front of a microphone, like privately, way worse. But like, I would never say that on a broadcast like she just did. Red Fox Mad with a $1.99 says Don was harassing the church prisoners. You mean parishioners? He was not harassing any church prisoners. Silver Wolf with $1 says this was my reaction when she said that. Let's see, what was your reaction?
She can't do that. Shoot her or something.
Yeah, she's not allowed to say that about black people. We are. The Cleaner says whites will accept anyone that supports our rights. Like how you said the N-word live on air. When did I ever say that? Nigga, please. No, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're saying. Papa Shop says it's called being a Jew. Now, I was trying to stay away from that today. Trampling at the Zoo says, is Guy Sartell still around, or is he still protesting the toe? Historically, throughout the show's history, him and April's parents' hobby farm have had like 1 year long periods where I piss them off by not giving them enough attention, and they rebel, and then they come back. So I think they're on their 1 year period right now. Honky with $1 says, hey, Carl, you think those pedophiles who got an HRO from a preteen are going to accept your WATP? Yeah, they are, because they all need to band together to be able to make money. So that's fine. Jesus, that is when you read it like that, though. I mean, it's a pretty bad look for you. 90 memberships away from 500. Thank you guys very much. Yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. It's going great. Thank you guys so much. Here I found some based NFL shit. I want to do this first. Then I want to do a freak out on an airplane, and then we have to get to the Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk, time traveler, X-Men shit tonight. I got going with the protest last week, so I didn't get a chance to cover this. And I think it's good that we're waiting to cover this. I think it's good that we're taking a long time to get to this because, you know, we run through shit so quick now in society. Like, you know, stuff doesn't digest. We just slam it back, swallow it whole, get into our gut, and shit it out as fast as we can. It's like, let these things breathe a little bit. Like, Renee Good feels like a year ago. And it was a week and a half ago. It's, you know, when we were all down at Lyndale and 24th at those protests and somebody had just been shot in the leg, somebody mentioned in the crowd, they were like, God, it's crazy to think Renee Good was shot a week ago today. And it was like, yeah, it's only been a week, but it feels like forever because you're just inundated with it in 24-hour cycles. We'll get to that in just a little bit. We'll get to the Candace Owens thing in just a little bit. But first, those of you who played fantasy football in the early 2000s to 2010, you remember not the great Charlotte Hornets Larry Johnson, but the NFL running back Larry Johnson, right? I believe he was a Kansas City Chief. Did it go Larry Johnson and then Priest Holmes? Who was the Chiefs running back after Larry Johnson? No, then it was Jamal. The primary running back who followed Larry Johnson for the Chiefs was Jamal Charles, taking over as the main feature back after Johnson's departure in 2009. So he might have been after Priest Holmes. Who was Chiefs running back after Priest Holmes? Then it was Larry Johnson. Okay. So Larry Johnson took over for Priest Holmes. He's been living a quiet life in his retirement. And Larry Johnson kind of came out of his hiding to talk about how he was watching the football game on TV, and he went on Twitter to tell everyone that he was seeing Freemason symbolism during the football games. You guys ready for fucking based Larry Johnson? Here's your former first overall pick in fantasy football.
I had stopped watching the National Football League a little bit after I had stopped playing. But my wife had her family over for a little get-together, and one of them put the game on. And it was at the Buffalo Bills, Denver Broncos overtime that they turned this game on.
It's got to be kind of fucked up to like watch football when you've played it professionally.
And I just looked at the score. Knowing that I'm watching entertainment now, knowing that I've came out of this world, I was thoroughly entertained by the entertainment. The score was 30-30, which is, if you know anything about masonry or Zionist numerology, you know how many times they put 33 in everything and anything they can get their hands on.
Oh my God, do you know where that protest I covered a week ago was? 33rd Avenue and 3rd Street. Oh, shit. See, by the way, guys, this is why I need you guys to cool it with the Jew shit. I'm going to end up Larry Johnson. I'm going to end up not enjoying anything and watching shit and going, the fucking Jews. I don't want to be that guy. You guys already have me Googling enough shit You have me Googling things and then going, no, don't. And then, of course, now I'm at the point where I Google shit and I just yell, don't, even though I know it's going to be every single time. I'm going to turn into Larry Johnson if you guys don't cut it out. So I'm begging you, stop Jew-pilling me.
They want to show you that they can control and manage things that have to do with people's lives. So I saw 30-30, 3-3. So I saw that the Buffalo Bills could have had a pass interference call in the end zone, that it wasn't called, even though it was blatant pass interference. Then I knew what time it was.
Uh-oh.
The whole time, everybody thought the Buffalo Bills were going to win because of the quarterback's ability to have game-winning drives. And of course, his girlfriend or wife became pregnant, and she showed everybody on the red carpet of the Golden Globes that she was pregnant, alongside the other co-star of the movie Sinners, where she ends up pregnant. So they made it a big to-do that these two women who play Smoker Stack's love interest were both pregnant almost at the same time. So they kind of got you to fall in love with the narrative of rooting for the Buffalo Bills. And plus you felt sorry for them because if you remember the whole DeMar Hamlin situation, so you wanted them to eventually win. And
they lost 4 Super Bowls, you know.
Marv Levy turned, I think, 100 years old. I thought Marv Levy was dead, but Marv Levy turns like 100 years old, some old age. And you thought that, okay, this would be the year that the Buffalo Bills finally break this curse.
See, I never want to get to this point because I just want to watch the fucking game. I want to watch the game. I want to assume it's as up and up as it can be. I want to assume that everything's fine. I want to shut my brain off for a while and watch the game. But I'm going to end up like Larry fucking Johnson at some point.
So a lot of people fell for this narrative. Even people who bet in Vegas or the Hard Rock, they fell for this narrative, this spell. But if you understand anything about occult symbolism, you know that Colorado is one of the biggest Masonic states in all of America. So you know what time it was when you saw that they gave the Denver Broncos that interception. When anybody who has ever played football, you know that since the ground can't cause a fumble, the ground also can't cause an interception, especially when the wide receiver had already had possession on the ball and his knee touched the ground. It should have been just Buffalo Bills ball. So there's 2 drives that they could have just won that game outright, but it wouldn't have added up to Zionist numerology.
Oh boy.
So then they get back-to-back pass interference calls, which I think they were pretty much legit, but it already sealed the deal. So then they told you, or Sean Payton told you, that Bo Nix suffered a broken ankle.
Uh-oh, how is this Zionism?
Mind you, you see this man walk off the field. You see this man walk to walk to say his last words to the opposing team's quarterback and then walk off. You don't see this man hobbling or limping. He showed no signs of a broken ankle.
Okay, how is that Freemasonry? I'm excited to hear. Again, I'm being quiet during most of this clip. I hope you're okay with that because I'm just watching this and taking notes and going, God, I don't want to end up this way.
And the reason why they wanted you to know this is because if you know anything about numerology or gematria, the game stopped at 444 when the field goal was made.
444.
444 in Sumerian numerology equals Masonic and Lucifer. So you just basically saw a Freemasonic ritual. Number 3 kicks a field goal for 3 points, and the score ends up being 33-30. That's a lot of threes. So if you look at the number 444 in Sumerian numerology, it also equals Lucifer, Masonic, and Jesus. So this whole time, players talking about...
I want to point out, this is 6.5 minutes long. And it's edited. So that means he cut some shit out of this.
Thank God, the Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for doing this, da-da-da-da-da. It's numerology that they're fooling you with. They're double speaking through numerology. They mean Lucifer. Because most of these players that are doing these interviews after games, they're Freemasons or Prince Hall Freemasons or part of Black Greek organizations, which is the same thing as Freemasonry because Prince Hall Freemasons are the ones who founded all of the Black Greek organizations.
He's talking about fraternities, Black Greek organizations.
Their rituals are the same. Their behavior is the same. They're in the same organization. Mike Tomlin is a Kappa Alpha Psi, same organization. So don't be fooled. In order for them to make a numeric ritual out of everything, that means the head coach has to be in on it, the offensive coordinator has to be in on it, and the defensive coordinator has to be in on it. It is entertainment.
See, I gotta stop watching this because it's actually making football cooler for me. Like, this is, now I want to watch. Every time I watch football now, I'm going to be like, see, this is why I can't watch this shit, because now I'm going to be like, oh shit, Freemasons. And Papa Shab says, I mean, Googling if somebody is Jewish is a lot different than a retarded Negro with CTE, just my opinion. Okay, good. I'm glad somebody else said it, because I said, could this just be some undereducated black guy with brain damage? Because I'm starting to feel like I'm just watching an uneducated black guy with brain damage. Just one man's opinion. My Lost Interest says, even your uncle would be embarrassed by this rant. Yeah, it's good to watch shit like that every once in a while, though, for me, because it shows that I'm not all the way gone yet. It makes me feel like, okay, you know what? Wherever I am now, I'm safe. That's good. Oh, yeah, I think that might just be a black guy with CTE. God bless. 311 of you checking out the toe right now. Hit like, hit subscribe, and hit follow. I appreciate everyone who's here this evening. Just keep hitting that like button. And hopefully we can keep knocking down those memberships, those Rumble rants, PayPal. Actually, you know what? Here, let's do the grift bit where I go, no Venmos, no PayPal so far tonight. Let's see if it's working. That's the lazy man's grift that we do. Otherwise, we're 90 memberships away from 500. Throw a couple bucks at the toe, and we'll get there. Okay, let's do the liberal woman removed from a flight after ranting at passenger next to her for supporting Trump. So, like, striking up a conversation on a plane, it's not the worst thing in the world. But you're probably better off if you just grab a pair of headphones, stay to yourself, watch a movie. You'll get there when you get there, right? These two people decided they were going to be social. They were going to strike up a conversation during their flight. And by the way, if you're wondering, because I just realized this came into camera view a few times, my kids left this on my desk for me, and it's actually been kind of nice to have. It's a donut, like, stress ball squishy thing. So, like, if I'm on a roll or, like, we're rolling on something and I got this in my hand, it kind of helps. Like, it's a good... My kids put it on the desk and they said, Dad, you can use this on your show. I said, all right. Sounds good to me. And I have been using it, and I like it. But this woman found out that this guy was... see, my thing is, if you're going to fly off the handle and go mental when you find out somebody's a Trump supporter, why talk to strangers? You got a 50% chance of being next to a Trump supporter at any and all times, unless you're in Seattle. So why you would just strike up a conversation with the person next to you and even talk about Trump? You know, there's that old thing, in polite company, you don't discuss religion or politics. And I think that's usually a good rule. You don't want to bring it up in front of strangers. Like, the only time I've ever brought up, like, politics or anything like that, if I'm, like, at a bar and just, we're bullshitting and talking, is if you pick up the vibe from the other person that it's going a certain way, you can go there, and that's fine. But like a stranger on an airplane, and then also your tolerance level for politics is not good, just stay away from it. What do you say? Let's see how it went on this plane ride from hell.
She has called me names and insulted me just for sitting down in the seat, saying that I came here to celebrate today.
Is there going to be a problem?
I would like for him to change seats with someone.
No, I'm going to get somebody. Well, you don't have that right. So I will get somebody to come and talk.
You pretend you have the moral high ground, but you put that man's finger on the nuclear button.
Oh, God, you put that man's finger on the nuclear button. I got bad news for you, sweetheart. They're all sociopaths, and none of their fingers are on the button. They're bought and paid for, every last one of them. How do you get to this age and you still believe this shit?
That man doesn't believe in climate change.
What does that have to do with the nuclear button? I believe the average climate temperature has stayed roughly the same for 10,000 years. Launch it. Like, who gives a shit? If you're nuking people, who cares what you think about climate change? Like, you're like, all right, guys, we've avoided nuclear war. Oh, yeah, that's so great. Awesome. I also think that climate change is occurring naturally and none of it is man-made. Lynch him. He's a fucking piece of shit. Or, likewise, if he's like, guys, got news. I'm going to nuke China and Russia at the same time. Oh, my God, that's terrible. But I'm also going to enact 40% carbon taxes on all oil drilling. Oh, my God, he's fantastic. Isn't he the best? He's a megalomaniac who's going to kill us all, but at least he understands climate science.
That man doesn't believe in climate change. Do you believe in gravity? Did you know?
Do you believe in gravity? I don't know. Let's throw you out of the plane. If you hit the ground, I believe in it. If you sprout wings and fly, I'll know it might be horse shit.
Gravity's just a theory.
You guys are We're gonna have to take him off this plane right now. Can you grab it for him? Just come quick, please. Can you grab it for him?
I paid for this seat and I'm sitting.
I paid for this seat and I'm sitting in it. And Erica Kirk is right there. Like, can we go? I need to go meet my new Jewish husband.
Despite her disruptive nature, she believes she's done no wrong and refuses to leave.
He is in my space.
Oh, God. And this man here is like, oy vey, all of this drama. I can't even digest my food properly. I brought a nice brown bag lunch onto this airplane. I'm worried that I won't even be able to eat it now. I'm so verklempt. This lady next to me is Meshuggah, and this other guy voted for a Nazi, I believe. It'd be funny if this guy went, excuse me, sir, can I remind you that roughly 81 years ago there was a Holocaust against the Jewish people? Sir, what does it have to do with anything? Sorry, my phone alarm went off.
I'm going home. My mother-in-law, his mother, died. I'm going home. There is no way I'm getting off this plane.
Well, your dead mother-in-law is ashamed of you now, isn't she? You foolish lady, you. I'll be quiet. I'll just drink. Hey, I'm harassing this man for his political beliefs. I think if I pour some booze on top of it, I should be fine. That's usually how it works. I'm not going to allow you to drink on this plane. Oh, shit. Now, yeah, that would be the point where I go, all right, fuck it. I'll get off the plane then. Oh, the captain wants her off.
My husband lost his mother. Have some respect.
And his mother was in Auschwitz 9 times. She was let out and they put her back in twice in 1 week. And it was the most terrible thing. And if you don't let me fly on this plane, I guess you just want another Holocaust. My family died.
Sorry for that. Okay, it's not
it's too late for that, son. I'm sorry. It is too late for that now. What if we trade seats? And I feel bad for this guy because this has all the body language of a henpecked man who stopped fighting years ago. She rules the roost. And if he didn't say that, she would have said, why didn't you stand up for us back there? You really are a gutless piece of shit. The captain doesn't know shit. That's a good way to keep yourself on the plane. Sir, the captain would like you to leave the plane. Well, the captain's a fag. Sorry. That's not going to work. Captain's a punk bitch. Tell him to see me out here.
Please, coming down.
Even after the husbands offer to trade seats, it's a little too late for this couple, and the two were swiftly escorted off the plane.
Yeah, well, and I bet you at least a few people on that plane applauded when it happened. Yeah, I think the same thing that my lost interest thought. She's dead. What's the rush? Like, all of a sudden, is the mother going to resurrect herself and die again, and he's not going to be able to say goodbye? I mean, your mother was dying, and you weren't even home to say farewell. I mean, how close were you guys? How close were you? Really? Rabbi Smoothie says the Homer donut. No, kind of. I can see where you think that's a Homer donut, but it's got a little smiley face on it there. So it's a little different. Honky says this clip is like 9 years old. It's from the first Trump, and don't fucking ruin it. I didn't know that. It was on one of my Twitter sites. Just let me be a boomer. It was fun, wasn't it? Was it fun? Who gives a shit? Did they say Trump? And it's fine. Who gives a shit? Is that guy's mom still dead? They're probably both dead now, if that's the case. Who gives a shit? Let me be a boomer for 5 goddamn seconds. Papa Shab says, what an ugly pair of lesbians. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Papa Shab, I'm pretty sure one was a man and one was a woman. I'm not sure which one's got the cock, though. I'm too scared to check, really. 90 memberships away from 500. Just keep, you know what I say? Everybody just keep throwing in 5 memberships or testing that Venmo and testing that PayPal, and we'll just have ourselves like the gayest night ever. Thank you very, very much. Okay, this one I've been wanting to get to for a week or so. Candace Owens, I'm pretty sure, is just running like a crazy white cat lady's true crimes podcast now. I don't think Candace Owens is a news commentator anymore. I don't think she's into politics. It's now just like showing off to Erica Kirk that she misses her husband more than Erica does. And also coming up with like Candace realizes, like, I've got to keep coming up with crazy shit or people are going to stop watching me. Like, she's probably been pulling in $100,000 a week, maybe, since Charlie Kirk died, at least a month, $100,000 since he died. And so the stress of needing to keep that up, of not wanting to see that come back down, it's got to be a lot. And it sucks because, like, that's the nature of online. It's going to go up and it's going to come down, and it's going to go up and it's going to come down. And I mean, we've all been through this a dozen times before. When we first came to YouTube from Twitch, we had like 300 or 400 people watching us in the morning. Now we got 700 or 800 at a time. Eventually, some shit will go down. Well, we'll go down to 400 or 500 again at some point. Then we'll go back up. I mean, that's just the way it works. But Candace is like, no, I got to keep dumping fuel on this fire. So it brings her show further away from like news analysis and current events and politics and more into black female Alex Jones. So now apparently Candace Owens told her audience last week that Charlie Kirk told her that he is a time traveler. She has also said that Charlie Kirk comes to her in her dreams and gives her messages. Who are we to tell her it's not happening? But she made 2 claims last week about Charlie Kirk, and oh my God, these are insane.
Why did Charlie think he was a time traveler? He said, as I showed you in earlier messages, that he was a time traveler and he had to find me. Is that just something people are saying to their homies in text messages?
They might be joking. They might be like, oh, it's like when when you had that guy friend that you didn't know was gay, Candace. And he was like, oh, if we're still alone when we're 40, we're going to find each other and marry each other. You don't fucking mean it. If you find that guy when you're 40, you look insane. He's like, oh, I'm a time traveler and I was sent to find you. It's just something that a guy who doesn't get a lot of pussy says to girls. I mean,
and again, not anything that I would have placed so much emphasis on back when he was saying it, but it came to fruition. The other parts, he did die young. Why did he think that him dying young was necessary in order to change things? He did die young. It is related to Turning Point USA. in some way or another. At the very least, we can all agree it's related to him speaking at a campus event for Turning Point USA. I'm totally occupied by this. I tell you.
Stop then. Don't. That's because I'm just going to tell you as a friend, it sounds retarded. It like more retarded than your usual stuff, right? Like this is her saying like Charlie was a time traveler. I mean, how could he not be a time traveler? He was obsessed with dying young. Well, maybe he knew he was in a dangerous profession where he's speaking on controversial things to people who could be very emotional and crazy. And he thought maybe one of them might take a pop at him one day. Maybe that's what he thought, Candace. And she goes, no, I'm going to bear down on this time travel thing. Wait a minute. So you're telling me that you're actually on your show in front of hundreds of thousands of people at a given time, millions of people overall. You're going to actually tell people out loud that you believe Charlie Kirk was a time traveler? Yeah, isn't that a great idea? No, it's a terrible, it's going to make you sound like you're insane.
I read these messages and I'm going, what is this? What is reality actually? And Charlie died. Yes, like I said, it was related to this organization.
If he was a time traveler, wouldn't he have saw that coming and then just not gone to Utah?
And I think we would all agree that his death and the manner that they did it changed the world in ways that I don't think we can fully realize, or certainly not.
I don't know about you guys. Maybe this is a hot take. I don't know. I feel like shit's pretty much gone back to normal. I feel like we eat, digest, and shit news so quickly now that whatever impact Charlie Kirk had, I think we went back to the path we were on before that. I don't think there was any lasting, meaningful change in Charlie Kirk's death.
In a way that I can articulate.
Except maybe guys like Nick Fuentes and maybe people who are talking about Israel and stuff have become more popular. But I think that would have happened no matter what.
You just cannot pretend that all of this is one big unhappy coincidence. It's entirely...
Oh, okay, but I also don't have to believe that Charlie Kirk had a fucking gull-wing DeLorean. He was flying around with some old professor.
Plausible that they knew something about Charlie. And that's why they had him marked and had him monitored and had him likely followed since he was young. And maybe they thought, like the agents think, that if they swarmed him and they stayed with him and they pretended to be his friend, that ultimately they could control Charlie.
So all of the people at Turning Point USA knew that Charlie was a time traveler, so they surrounded him like the Time Variance Authority did Loki. So Charlie Kirk is Loki, and I can't believe this.
And perhaps change an outcome. They could literally change an outcome related to Charlie. So when for the first time in his life, because I do believe he was managed, I mean, I've already said I was handled. I didn't recognize that I had agents.
Oh my God, Candace, have you ever thought that maybe you were a time traveler? I'm going to start reading quotes from Genghis Khan and you see if you can finish any of them. Maybe you were there, or maybe I should go Shaka Zulu. I'm not sure.
And for the first time in his life, Charlie peeks his head up and starts to push back in a meaningful way. They couldn't stop him from becoming bigger. That seemed to be inevitable. But they panicked. They seem to have panicked, right? I mean, this is just starting to happen within a year when Charlie's going like, hey, man, I don't actually think this. I don't actually believe this. And then he goes,
get back in the fucking time machine. You are going back to 2134. Enough of this shit. It's the same thing you tried to pull in 1982, Charlie. We're going to stop taking you places, all right? Read the cards. And don't even get me started on that time we went back to pre-Napoleon France and tried to stop the revolution. Great job there, dickhead. Talking to those people about free will and democracy. Are you out of your fucking mind? Just read the cards. You do what we tell you, or we're not going to take that field trip to Babylonia.
You know what? Take the money. Take the money out of the organization. And they panicked. They freaked out. And their solution was, no, just kill him. Just kill him. We can't have him.
So, to surmise that clip, to summarize it, Charlie Kirk was a time traveler. And all these people around him knew he was a time traveler. And because they knew he was a time traveler, they had to focus in on him to make sure he didn't get out of pocket. And then when he started to think for himself, it would fuck up the time-space continuum. So they killed him. Yeah. So it's totally reasonable. Candace Owens is based. Yeah. Starting to think this lady might be out of her fucking mind. My lost interest says, I'm confused. So how is Charlie's death tied to the Broncos win? Well, you see the threes that are represented in the... I don't know. Redbird with $5 says she's paid opposition that completely derailed the unity in the aftermath of Kirk's death with her Israel theories. Same with Fuentes. Anna Wall says, I said we're all entitled to our opinions, ma'am. And she said, I'm entitled to get drunk and throw up in your lap. That's kind of, yeah, that was her response. Honky says, Candace and Turning Point USA are in a contest to make Charlie a superhero, saint, and self-made. Reality is he was a creature of Zionist donors to sell boomer slop to Gen Z, but malfunctioned like Finn in Star Wars. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that's about the most accurate take I've ever read. Or, hear me out, he was an X-Men. That sounds retarded, right? Like, nobody would ever just come out and go, Charlie went to the Charles Xavier School for the Gifted people, right? Like, nobody would have that take. There's absolutely no person on earth who would say that Charlie went to a gifted school like the X-Men. There would never be.
He was pulled out of the regular school he was attending, and he had to go to some special school for the gifted, like he was an X-Man.
Never mind, ladies and gentlemen. Candace Owens is claiming that Charlie Kirk was at the X-Men school. Why don't we all sit down, get really, really comfortable, and hear her out? Look, I know. She just said that Charlie Kirk was a time traveler, and saying he was a time traveler that went to the X-Men school, it sounds really stupid and retarded. I get that, but maybe if we hear her out, it'll make total sense.
Said he thought he was a time traveler. He went to a special school, and
starting to think Candace went to a special school, but like the one that Forrest Gump's mom fucked the principal to keep him out of. I think she went to a place, to learn how to retread tires.
It's very interesting that these programs existed.
Is there a Mr. Owens? Mrs. Owens? He's on vacation. Hey. All right. Sorry, I'm just bracing myself. He went to the Charles Xavier School.
Honestly think I was spared. So interesting to hear you say if they wanted to...
That's because they don't let blacks in the X-Men.
Transfer you to a special academy, because the same thing happened to me. I took the test. It was third grade, I remember. And all the kids got their state test exams back, and mine was late. And I was sitting in Miss Bell.
Not beating the stereotypes, are we? When'd you start straightening the hair? Did the test get turned in on time, then that started?
So you're just crazy in a retard kind of way then, huh?
Illustraries class. And then they brought my mom in, and they were like, Candace
shoots lasers out of her eyeballs. We need to put this visor on her and train her.
A very high score on this, and we'd like to put her in what was called the Extraordinary Learners Program.
Oh, or the X-Men. Extraordinary X-Men. Holy shit.
After being in a couple of these classes, they then...
Charlie pulling up in his DeLorean with the Mr. Fusion in it. Fucking animatium claws coming out of his fists. Shit's lit, dude. It's fucking... I'm guessing they're not going to put this on the Daily Wire streaming service, this movie, because it kind of rules.
Said to my mom that we would like to pay for her to go all expenses to this academy, King Low Haywood Private School. And my mom was like, well, you should go to this. This is an amazing opportunity. And then I started bursting out in tears, crying, being like, Mom, please don't make me go. We had just changed schools, elementary schools. And I was like, I just made new friends again. I do not want to make new friends. Essentially, I promise I will be an idiot. Just do not make me change.
I want to give you guys a warning. Watching Candace Owens will make you dumb. It's time to stop. Like, it's jumped the shark now. I have run the gambit with emotions on Candace Owens from, holy shit, is this, wow, that's some crazy links that we're putting out there, to like, all right, that's a bit of a reach, but you know what? Maybe she's got some intel, to, all right, I think she's starting to lose her mind, to time travel and X-Men. It's, like I said, I think she's transitioning now into like a true crime podcast for 40-year-old wino women. That's her target audience at this point, because this is slop.
Rules. And I wonder, first off, I then purposely was trying not to do the best.
Sometimes being gifted doesn't feel like a gift. Nobody seems to
How fucking depressed would you be if you're a black kid in a poor neighborhood and you touch plants and they die? Like, it's just like, oh my God.
understand you. Sometimes they're even scared of you. Wouldn't it be great if you didn't have to worry about hiding your gift anymore?
No, help her. She's got fucking crazy lizard eyes. Help that young girl. Dude, I'd shit my pants if Erica Kirk, young Erica Kirk shows up in this video.
Hi, I'm Jubilee, and it wasn't that long ago when I felt that way too. But then I became a student at Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters.
Oh,
and
this is the
everything
X-Men
changed.
school. Okay.
At Xavier's, you'll meet students and even teachers
Is
who
this
will love
the-
nice.
okay.
No ordinary.
That's the end of the clip. They just play the X-Men thing. Oh, shit. I mean, you know what the most fucked up part is? She might believe it. She might believe that Charlie went to the X-Men school. I can't tell anymore. It's beyond me at this point. MSO says, I'll have what she's having. Honky says, Candace also accused Bridget Macron of being an X-Man. I like that one. He told me he was a time traveler. Like, don't put that evil on him. He's not here to refute it. Like, I guarantee if Charlie Kirk was still alive, they'd be like, hey, comment on Candace saying you told her that you was a time traveler. And he'd go, she's black. She lies. Don't believe it. No, I'm not a fucking time traveler. So, Charlie, this is going to sound kind of fucked up, but you wouldn't happen to be an X-Men by chance, would you? Oh, who the fuck? Was it Candace? It was Candace, wasn't it? God damn it. Good luck to Candace with whatever she's going through. I'll give her this. She misses Charlie Kirk more than Charlie Kirk's wife misses Charlie Kirk. I think that's a fair statement to make. Everybody hit like, hit subscribe, and hit follow. 328 is our number at the moment. We could use a couple of memberships. We could use a couple of PayPal, Venmo, Streamlabs, Super Chats, etc. Bapa Shab says, Kirk went there. I remember the class of 2010. He was Mr. Faggot. His power was gayness, and I was the indomitable rapist. My power? Well, you could probably guess. That was I remember that 2010 was they got a little experimental with the type of heroes they were graduating, and I believe your class was one they called the one they wish they could have back. They really didn't. Once the indomitable rapist graduated and they went, you know what? I really don't see a way to use his powers for good. I think we might have fucked up here. Plus, he and the new Mr. Faggot that graduated, they won't stop spending time with each other, and I'm starting to worry. Oh my God. Let's go to our next thing. This is yeah, that's right. Our Minneapolis police chief was on 60 Minutes last night, crushing it. This guy so doesn't want to be doing this job. Everyone in the Minneapolis Police Department has had it. They're done. And I don't think they like this guy either, Brian O'Hara. You know what I found out? I thought that Brian O'Hara was selected or elected or picked or whatever because he was like cool with Jacob Fry and he was like a liberal and they were both lefties running shit together. But I found out at the protest, like the lefties don't like Brian O'Hara either. The conservatives don't like Brian O'Hara because he's not doing his job. Like all of these protests are just allowed to go and do whatever the fuck they want. They show up and they go, get out of the road or we're going to use crowd control measures. And they're like, fuck you, police, piece of shit, kick ICE out of here. And they're like, all right, last warning. I'm super serial, you guys. Get out of the road or we're going to really do some shit. Fuck you, we're not going anywhere. All right, we tried our best. Let's get out of here, boys. It's like, well, wait a minute. What are you going to do with the protesters? What if they start marching around the city? Just, just let them have the road for a while. It'll all pass. It's like the Minneapolis Police Department is doing two things to settle these protests. Jack and shit. They're not doing a goddamn thing. So Brian O'Hara was asked on 60 Minutes, like, hey, what the hell's going on in Minneapolis? And this now, Brian O'Hara may be kind of a dipshit and a goofball. He is right. They're talking about the Renee Good shooting. And this is the problem. They hired so many ICE officers so quickly, and they paid them relatively well compared to being like a local policeman. You know, even Minneapolis cops are quitting and joining ICE. And Bovino, or whatever his name is, the commander, he's encouraging them to do so. He said so much publicly. But like these ICE guys are not trained in crowd control, and they're not trained in de-escalation and all this other stuff. I mean, a lot of these guys are straight winging it. And you could tell with the Renee Good thing, because O'Hara's not wrong. That guy should not have been standing in front of the car. That said, my take on the Renee Good thing is just not a sexy take. I get it. It's don't drive away when the cops are telling you to get out of your car and stopping you. That's a bad idea. They might shoot you. Also, don't stand in front of a fucking car. Because second, I think the real reason that Thompson and his team resigned is because they were looking into the Somali fraud. They were getting places with the Somali fraud. They probably wanted to bring more charges on all this Somali fraud. And the Trump administration said, no. We need this as our distraction for Epstein in Venezuela and Iran. We need Minnesotans to get out there and really fucking hate Somalis. That's what we need. We need them to think that Somalis are their biggest problem. Somalis are the reasons why they're struggling. Like it's a tale as old as time. Blame poor immigrants and the bullshit they're doing so they stay away from the even bigger fuck-ups and cover-ups that we're doing here. Because are Somalis ripping off Minnesota? Absolutely. But they couldn't do it without the help of those wonderful progressive whites. Letting them get away with it and letting them doing it. You could cut off the spigot and end fraud without charging a single person. The people in charge would just have to shut off the money machine or make people prove their claims. So you could do that without Joe Thompson. But Joe Thompson wanted to bring actual charges. And this is my theory. I don't think that Joe Thompson was told he had to investigate Renee Good and her wife. And he went, well, then out of morality, I'm resigning. He would have just investigated and then I went, yeah, they're good. Leave them alone. I think they got out of there because the Somali shit was about to go down. So the Trump people kicked them out because they're like, what are we going to do to distract from people that we're covering up for a Mossad pedophile? Like, we need this Somali thing. We need our white voters to hate the Somalis a bunch so they completely forget about Epstein and Iran and Gaza and Venezuela. And they will, because the Somali thing, they're dark-skinned, they're others, they're from Africa, and they are committing shitloads of fraud and stealing from us, and it's in our own backyard, so we feel like we have more control over it. But meanwhile, it's crazy that the Somali fraud thing wasn't that big of a story until the Friday they were supposed to release the Epstein files. And then this, Wailing Wall kissing Nick Shirley's video drops the same exact day, and that's all anyone wants to talk about. So you can say that Joe Thompson resigned because of this Renee Good thing. There's no confirmation of that, none whatsoever. That's just something the news said. I think it's because they don't want to actually solve this Somali fraud thing. They want to keep using it to bring it up as the big distraction anytime someone says something about shit they don't want to, discuss, like Epstein. Historically White says he sounds like Candace now. That's fine if I sound like Candace. It checks out. I mean, you really think that any of these guys, I mean, how old are you now? How old are you now? Do you really think anything's going to happen about this Somali fraud? Do you really think anything's going to happen? You think anyone's going to jail? They're letting people out of jail over this shit. Baba Shab, yes, and I think that's going to be on tomorrow morning's show. We're going to go over the... See, I trust that. I'm not saying he's all the way good, but I trust the guy... what's his name? The guy who did the Indian Shit Festival documentary. I trust him way more than Nick Shirley. I think that guy's way more trustworthy. OG Anonymous Fake Dono with $10 says, Aaron can't say it, but I can. Only keep it going, gang. No, I can't say how far away we are from a certain thing for another 25 minutes, but thank you very much for the $10. Let's just say we're a nice even number away from a thing, and let's do that. 90 memberships away from 500 on Rumble. Thank you. Historically White says no, and I don't think anything will happen with the Epstein thing. Yeah, and it's by design, right? Let's do one more Minnesota story. This is weird. Like, white women are doing this. Like, white women who are in relationships with immigrants are doing this thing where they make these big tearful videos where they're like, we're going to have to leave the country and I will go with the love of my life. And we all have to sit here like Curly Bill Brocious in Tombstone and go, well, bye. Like, I don't know who white women who are dating Latinos are making these videos for, but I ain't found them yet. Here's a lady hysterical in her car talking about what ICE is doing to her family.
I don't even know how to start this.
Don't. It's none of my fucking business.
I just had a conversation with my dad, who has been a citizen here 30 years. He just said he doesn't feel welcome here anymore, and he doesn't feel safe here.
Oh, is this the one with the dad, not the boyfriend? I thought this was the boyfriend one. Oh, this is the father one. I'm sorry. See, there's been multiple of these. So this is the father one. It's still the same concept. Now, I would say if you've been a citizen and you've been here for 30 years and you have citizenship, what the fuck are you worried about? This is the problem with all the propaganda and the news. It scares the shit out of otherwise decent, innocent people. So you got a guy who's been a citizen here. He's been here for 30 years and he's like, I'm scared. I might leave. Dude, don't. You're going to be fine. You're okay.
Anymore. And he doesn't want to be in this country anymore.
Well, bye.
He's going back to Chile now.
Is his name Gus Fring? Because we don't want to lose that guy.
For a bit. And exploring opportunities to stay there.
Oh, I hear Jews are selling land real cheap, but you're going to have to clean up all the burnt firewood. It's in Chile. If you're looking for land on the cheap, strap on a yarmulke and head to Chile. You wouldn't believe it.
Because it's not safe here, and he's not welcome here as a legal citizen.
Again, these are self-inflicted wounds these people are doing to themselves. He's fine. Let him stay. Stop letting your dad scare the shit out of himself. This is like borderline elder abuse. Like, you're letting your dad believe that as a citizen, he's somehow in danger and now it's spoiled this country for him and he wants to leave. Stop lying to him. He's fine.
And if he goes, I'm sure as hell going with him. I'm not.
Again, I don't see why any of us needed to be involved in this conversation then. Seems like something between the two of you that you've got worked out pretty well.
Staying here. We have been fighting here in Minnesota for our communities and to stop violence and to stop hate and to help our neighbors that may look different than what an American should look like. And we've been fighting.
Ma'am, I have bad news. You look like an American. Like, nobody would think that you're like the daughter of foreigners.
For them and for peace. I don't know if this is getting out to people in other states. Like, I don't know
It's called the internet, yet probably it's the World Wide Web, actually. It's going out to the whole world. Like, look what these people do to themselves. And look, it's okay, like, if your political opinion is that no person should be illegal and the United States should just let everybody, like, that's fine for that to be your political take. I disagree with it strongly, but that's okay, that's your take. But to work yourself into a lather where you're sobbing alone in your car, like a loved one just died. And all because you've worked yourself up into this frenzy, convincing yourself that X, Y, and Z is going to happen to your citizen father.
If you're seeing what we're seeing here in Minnesota and all these videos that are being posted and people speaking out and like showing what is actually happening here, I don't know if you're seeing this in other states. And it is so important that you're seeing this in other states because we are screaming here, not only
I know, I've heard you,
for help, trying to warn you that it's starting here. It's not ending here. Like,
oh shit,
it is coming.
This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Sorry.
To other states, to other communities, we're trying to warn you. It's terrifying. And
like, dude, this is the flip side of like Jake Lang. Be like, I'm gonna burn a fucking Quran and walk to Cedar Riverside. This is the flip side of that. This is people working themselves up into like crazy town and then vomiting it all over the rest of us. It's like, guys, both of you on the extremes, it's not as bad as both of you say it is.
You feel helpless.
Like watching, on the flip side of this, watching guys bootlick ICE and be like, I'm going to be there to support ICE. ICE doesn't need your support. They just need people to stay the fuck out of the way. ICE doesn't need support. They're armed to the teeth. If any of these people give them too much shit, they've already shown they'll fucking kill you. I mean, this idea that like, I need to be the biggest federal government cheerleader there is. You're retarded. Stay the fuck out of the way. There's enough problems here in Minnesota with people getting in the way. And then on the left being like, I know a guy who's been a citizen here for 25 years. Then he's fine. Stop crying. Jesus.
Because this is not stopping. This is not just a Minnesota thing. If you see things coming out of Minnesota, if you're seeing videos, like please share them, please post them.
Deal.
Especially if you're from out of state, please share it with your community. We don't know if we're just in our bubble here and we're just screaming into the void. Like,
no, it's been embarrassing the living shit out of everyone in this state for a few weeks now. It's been we've been properly chastised and humiliated nationally because of it.
Did share something coming out of Minnesota right now to my followers and to my community here. Like, I am going to continue using my platform to talk about this.
Thank God. I was so worried. Holy shit. That was going to be my next question. Are you still going to be using your platform to help? Oh my God. I was worried you might not.
A platform that is dwindling by the day, but I will be talking about this until I have no followers left because this is not okay. Please support us, support our communities, support our neighbors, and don't stop.
Thinking about tomorrow. Yeah, it's just the hysterics surrounding this are just like, there are some people where I'm like, all right, you're purposely kind of fucking with people and manipulating people. And then there's other people who are just like people like this. Who you're just like, I think you've been misled. I think you've been told a thing. And you're like, we all have that person in our family who's like shaky and nervous all the time. And like they're consuming news and then they've consumed too much. Kind of like me turning into Larry Johnson. Like they're the fucking Freemasons and the fucking fraternity Kappa Epsilon Phi is going to kill the, I don't know, whatever. But it's like those people who consume way too much. Like I got there today. I was getting ready for the show and I prepped like a really lighthearted show for tomorrow because I saw the stuff that like I was seeing so much of like the usual black pilled stuff. We're like, enough. I'm consuming too much of this shit and it's starting to fuck with my brain. I'm gonna have a nice, light, fun, silly show tomorrow. Kraken Slapping says she's a paid propagandist. Nah, man, I know what the paid propagandist looks like. That one is someone who's just in over her head in the news and all of that horse shit. And she needs to take a break. Oh my God. Did you guys see what Shmuel Buckman did? Take a look. Look at that guy. Did you see him? I didn't even know he got arrested. This is according to Fox 11 News. Former Oconto Falls high school teacher faces child enticement charges. Oh my God. I don't know a lot about that Shmuel fella, but a former Oconto Falls high school staff member here in Wisconsin, this is right next door, was charged Thursday with 11 counts, including child enticement and sexual misconduct by a school staff member for allegedly having inappropriate sexual conduct with 7 students. See, a guy like this, it's just so easy to go, all right, no fair trial for this guy. Let's just do this India style. Let's break him out of the prisons. Let's get the sticks and the rods, and let's just start. Like, he is the phenotype. He is the look of just, you see this guy's face, and you just go, oh, creep. Creep is the perfect word for him. Gail Gander, 60 years old. Oh, his name's Gail. Oh, it's too perfect. Was an English teacher and director of the Performing Arts Center. Oh, so he was the theater guy. And then all the theater kids, well, if you know, you know. He was fired after his arrest last month. Oh, shit. Now, Gander made an initial appearance Thursday afternoon on 5 counts of sexual misconduct by a school staff member, 3 counts of exposing genitals to a child, and 3 counts of child enticement. A $75,000 cash bond was set. I just want to point out that was what my bond was. If you want to find out what a fucked up state, what a fucking insane, crazy state Minnesota is, this guy and I got the same bond. According to the criminal complaint, the incidents happened between March 2024 and December 2025. Yeah, this is one of those stories where it's like such a cut and dried thing. It actually makes me oddly, like, maybe not anti-Constitution, but less pro-Constitution, where I'm like, I think we can probably suspend it for a while and just beat the living dog shit out of this guy, right? Like, we don't need to honor the Constitution every time, do we? We can skip it a couple of times and just let the mob take care of this one. Because, I mean, he's... Ugh. Baba Shab says Minnesota is a joke. No. That guy's Wisconsin. That guy's a Wisconsin guy. All right? To put the blame where it belongs. This is a Wisconsinite, not a Minnesotan. 90 memberships away from 500. Boys and girls, do me a favor. We're coming up on that time where I get to tell you where we're at and, make a run. Make a little run, and I'd say that home is closer than you think it is. Bill Maher had Dana Carvey on his podcast so they could hit a total age of 150. And Bill Maher did something that I didn't expect. He got Joe Rogan's back. The Golden Globes this year decided to add the category of best podcast, which is so stupid because it's like, okay, what's the best podcast? Chances are the best podcast is probably something I'd never listen to in a million years. It's the best what does that mean? Best. Like category? It's the Golden Globes way of trying to grab more viewers because people just aren't watching it anymore. So we'll grab the new, young, hipper viewers if we put their favorite podcasts in there. The only problem is the podcasts they selected for best podcast were Good Hang with Amy Poehler, and that one won, by the way. Amazing, right? That a Hollywood person. Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard. Call Her Daddy with Alex Cooper. The Mel Robbins Podcast with Mel Robbins, of course. Smartless with Jason Bateman, Sean Hayes, and Will Arnett. And not nominated was Joe Rogan. Now, that is a little iffy and it's a little odd. And when you consider that it's Hollywood, I mean, you obviously you realize why Rogan wasn't nominated. But, like, if you're the biggest podcast out there and you're the highest drawing podcast and the most listened to podcast, how are you not getting a nomination for Best Podcast? It would be like Titanic in 1997 not getting any Oscar nominations. It's like, okay, you're kind of fucking this movie over. So Bill Maher heard about this and he was mad and he brought it up on his show and said, hey, you know, and I don't think Joe Rogan and Bill Maher like agree on everything by any means, but Bill Maher was actually pissed about this.
It was glaring that Joe Rogan was not nominated.
For Best Podcast?
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of popular, and you know,
it is known.
It is known.
He's absolutely brilliant at what he does.
And he's very good at.
Okay, easy. Is he though? What does he do? Wow, you know, that's crazy. Have you ever thought about insert retarded thought here, and then listen to guests try to take that retarded thought and make something like? Okay, Rogan's very popular. I like Joe Rogan. I'm not one of these people who's like, oh, I'm going to shit on Joe Rogan because it's cool. I like Joe Rogan. I find him largely harmless, but I just find that the turn he took into politics these last couple of years, he's one of these guys who means well, but he's not well versed in how the manipulation of all this shit works. And there's a lot of people out there who go, ooh, Joe Rogan's open for business ideologically. Let's make him an Elon Musk and Palantir guy. Oh, by the way, speaking of which, Palantir is going to develop a bunch of tracking technology for the military. So we should definitely root for those guys. And they're going to be given certain, what do you call it, where they don't have to obey certain laws. And they're going to be given certain leeways that most people don't get to develop this tracking technology, which will never be used against us, like during a COVID type situation, by the way. But like Rogan's not sharp enough to understand the sharks he's swimming with. And they're all like kind of taking little bites out of him now and using him to promote their agenda. And he doesn't quite see it yet.
What exactly? So you're going to have an inaugural podcast category.
And you don't have...
It just speaks to living in the blue sky bubble. Yeah. But get out of your fucking bubble, you know? I want to be one of you. I am one of you, but you're just so hard to defend because you're just so fucking smug assholes.
Honestly, Bill Maher feels about the left the way I feel about the right. Like, you guys are really hard to defend sometimes because you're retarded. Like, you just do stupid shit. So it's kind of the opposite, but the same. As far as, the cleaner says, privileges, you fucking retard. You're probably right. I'm probably retarded for that one. But like, it's not just the fact that Rogan didn't get nominated. It's the fact that Amy Poehler won. You know, that Amy Poehler got, because of course, Amy Poehler, like, why wouldn't Amy Poehler get the Best Podcast Award? It's a Hollywood show. I mean, does she have fans? Like, is it it might be a popular podcast. I don't think I'm in Amy Poehler's demo. So, like, I don't. Do people want, like, do you know anyone who's like, and I understand that's not a fair question either because, like everything's so fractured now in terms of how people consume their entertainment. But, like, do you ever hear someone who go, oh, my God, I heard this thing on the Amy Poehler podcast? Gotta listen to it. Sam Show says, I don't even know who that is. Wow, I mean, she's a famous comedic actor, writer, SNL movies, the whole thing. All right, fine. My lost interest, don't make me Google this. She was raised in a Catholic family. Fuck you. How do you like that? There you go. My lost interest says, is Amy Poehler a Jew? No. Thank you very much. Aw, you guys, did you hear what happened to poor Piers Morgan? Did you hear? Piers is fucking old, by the way. I didn't realize what an old, fragile man Piers Morgan was. Fucking broke his hip. He did. Piers had a slip and fall. Piers had a lifelink, like push the button, help, I've fallen and I can't get up, straight up, broken hip situation. 90 memberships away from 500. This is probably the last story we're going to get before we have to rally up and help out a little if you can. If you like the show and you feel like we're worthy of your donation, please consider it. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Piers Morgan fell down, and I think he broke his leg and broke his hip. The broadcaster revealed Sunday he's recovering in a London hospital after tripping at a restaurant, suffering a serious femur fracture that required a hip replacement. Yeah, there you go. There's where he busted himself up, the old slip and fall. Morgan shared the update on X, posting a photo from his hospital bed explaining he tripped on a small step while dining out. He joked the new year was already off to a cracking start. Oh, the British and their dry humor. The fall turned out to be more serious than it sounded. Morgan said the impact fractured his femur so badly, surgeons had no choice but to give him a new hip. I mean, you got to have some shitty bones, dog, to need a new hip. Now in recovery, he says he'll be on crutches for 6 weeks and unable to travel long hauls for at least 12 weeks. Oh, no. Does this mean that the Piers Morgan Milquetoast Jerry Springer have everybody yell at each other about politics show won't be on regularly? That's terrible. No, I said that's terrible. How dare... Did you guys see that recent episode Piers Morgan put out where Kyle Kuklinski dressed like he was a complete smack addict? Like he was a low-level coke dealer? Oh, my God. It's awful. Go watch it. It's fantastic. I'm one of those people where it's like, oh, it's tragic and terrible. I can't recommend it enough. So I thought that, like, hip replacements, I've heard from people that, like, you get a hip replacement and you're, like, walking around in a couple of days. How long does hip replacement recovery take? I've heard that 2 to 8 weeks, but returning to sports can take 3 to 12 months. Well, 3 to 12, that's like almost a whole year of open time there. 2 to 8 weeks with significant improvement. Okay, so his 12 weeks without traveling anywhere, that checks out. I thought it was maybe because it was Britain. And they're a shithole healthcare country and they totally fucking suck. So I thought it was going to have to, like, he was like, oh, if this was done in the United States, could get it done a little quicker. Nope. 09 Canyon says he has a broken leg also. Toe needs to be on Piers. I'd say yes to any show to get this struggling, dog shit, especially the evening show, off the ground. Oh, boy. MSO says, well, he is from a fag country. I guess the broken femur will take a little bit longer to heal, too, because even though you're getting the hip replacement, you still got to heal the broken leg. MSO says it's easier than getting a bong hit transplant. Hey-oh. Have you guys seen what's happening in Kamchatka, Russia? They got the most snow that they've gotten in like 130 years. I want to see if I can find a couple of these videos. Like Russians, as crazy as they are like jumping out of multi-story high windows because you can land in the snow and be totally fine. Yeah, they've gotten so much snow that it's like ivy clinging onto buildings. Like, take a look at it. You see this? Do you see this apartment building? The snow is up to there. They've been able to pile the snow and form it on a little like ski jump type thing up to that level. And the kids are sledding down it like lunatics. You ever sled and shit your pants at the same time? I like that Russians are like eternally hopeless people, so they're willing to take so much like bigger risk with shit. Because they're like, who cares if I die? It's like, I mean, like this is east of Siberia. Take a look at that. Look at the snowfall. It's like if it's just a little bit of that decides to let loose, it's just leveling buildings. And that's, again, in Kamchatka, Russia. The most snowfall they've had in 130 years. I want to see if I can. Oh, yeah, here's the guy I was thinking of. He just jumps out his window. It's like, I've run out of vodka. They have no more at the store. There's really no reason to live. There you go. Now, don't you run the risk of like just burying yourself in what is essentially an avalanche and suffocate? I mean, still not the smartest move in the world, but kind of jealous because all we're getting in Minnesota right now is the sub-zero temperatures. We don't even have the cool snow piles that you can jump into. Sucks. All right, guys, let's play our 2 rally songs and see if we can't hammer it out tonight. We did bank some from this morning. We haven't done great. We got off to an amazing start tonight, but it didn't end up great. Hold on. $100 even. That's the number. $100 even for tonight. You know what? Let me get the championship belt. Let me hit Erica out here. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Let's get in there and throw a couple bucks at the toe. Hit the post. Auf der Heide blüht ein kleines Blümelein. Do this. Und das heißt. Let's get this son of a bitch going. Let's see if we can't. A couple anonymous fake donos. What do you say? That's what I could use. A couple anonymous fake donos to get ourselves a W tonight and a perfect start to the week. You know, I don't even know if Venmo's working. Nothing on it. Or PayPal. Did I say Venmo? I meant PayPal. You know what to do. $100 away. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. I had my big numbers this weekend from covering the protests, and but I knew it would be right back to begging, right back to the way it's been the last 5 years. I'm used to it. It's okay. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow, and by God, throw a little cash at us if you can. People are saying, where is the pick? Let's put the pick up. I mean, anything to help now. Throw a couple of bucks our way. And make us feel like we've got a real show. How about that? There you go. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo. Throw a couple bucks at the toe and see if we can't come away with a W tonight. I think gifted memberships would be fabulous. $100. That's what it is. $100. Straight up. Fake donos are welcome. Throw those fake donos in. We love hundos. $4.99 from Red Fox Mad says, why has Johnny been so bitchy lately? Is smoking all that weed giving him brain damage? Hopefully he gets to bang Digger before he is RIP. Wow, that's fucking morose. Thank you for the $5. $95 away from tonight's goal. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, gifted memberships. Is that I think that's our first one. Yep, that's our first song done for the night. All right, and holy shit. I was coming back to Rumble going, I'm just going to let this run and I'll add up the Rumble when we're done with that first song. Nothing. It's all of a sudden this stopped being fun. All of a sudden, it has really stopped being fun. Well, this didn't work. I'm going to put this away. I don't know why I thought it would do anything. Well, let's play our second song and see if we can't make a little cash here. All right, I'm officially hitting the in case of emergency break glass. The 30 we went over this morning. The bank is already getting used on Monday. This is a bad sign. $65. 65 away from a win today. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Jesus, help us. Come on, baby, we can do this. $65 away and 90 memberships away from 500. Aaron, why are you shouting? Because I'm panicking. Because I had 220,000 views on my protest coverage, and I went right back to begging my audience to hit the last 60. Thank you, Onawall, for gifting a membership. You know, if everybody does that, we're going to be fine. 89 memberships away from 500 and $60 away from a win for the toe. Come on, guys. Let's see. Whip them out for the toe. Whip them out. Where's the photo? Whip them out. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Let's see if we can't get there. Everybody, we got 2 or 3 of you dropping 5 memberships in the Rumble chat. We'll be fine. Let's get it. Will we? I don't know. Doesn't look good. $60 away. Come on, evening folk. What do you got for us? Pull them out. $10 from No Pen 15 says, put this towards Sanford's son for gifting me a Rumble membership. You got it. 55 away from today. 50 away from tonight. Okay, guys, even 50. Let's get at it. Let's go. Red Fox Mad with $5 says, come on, let's show that N-word Don Lemon how Steel Toe Morning Show outsmarts the Jews. Everyone, let's go. Oh, my God. Look, we're $50 away. It doesn't need to be that aggressive. If you guys could just throw a couple memberships at us, that would be rad. $50 away from tonight. We got a minute left. Let's go. $50 away. Do we have any fake donos at $50? Do we have any fake donos? Just a little bit further. We're going to take a loss tonight, I think. I think tonight's heading for an L. Well, shit. We got about 25 seconds to go. 20 seconds left. $50 away. That's with using our overage from this morning. Well, shit. Back to our struggles with the evening show. We couldn't capitalize on our big weekend coverage. I kind of figured that would be the case. 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. That sucks. Those are never fun to take. $50. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, or the tip. All right. Well, $50 away from today, or from tonight. Sam Show loves Jewish dick, says evening show is for dorks, morning is better. Sanford's son with anonymous real dono, and there it is. We hit out of pity. We appreciate that's going to put old Sanford's son at 88. And that's going to put him in second place next to Steph. Thank you, Sanford's son, for knocking that thing out of the park. And that's going to put him up to second. Main Vein in third with 32. Walter in fourth with 25. And Ice Detention is Chris Reese with 25. People writing in the chat, thanks, Mom. Wow, thank you very much, Sanford's son, for the win for the toe. He bailed us out again. He's got to be getting tired of it. And Sanford's son, send me your info, AaronMHoltRadio@gmail.com, and I can send you all your VIP merch. Same with Main Vein and Wally World. Come on, guys. Thank you very much. It's another win for the toe. It's a perfect start to the week. Take it easy, guys. We will see you again tomorrow morning at 6 a.m.